Hitting the button. Hitting the enter button. I'm ready to go.
Umineko.
Umineko.
Hey, we're wearing matching shirts.
What? I wouldn't have asked my girl for showing up for her favorite visual novel.
Wow.
Wait, was that Canon wearing like an edgy, like leather collar thing?
We're gonna have so much fun.
Wait, why are none of those girls wearing pants?
We're gonna have so much fun.
I can't believe they're just like they had like a perfectly good butler outfit, like that guy's wearing it, but they're like, no, you're gonna dress like a girl, Canon. Hey, Dagger, what's up?
Hey, Dagger, what's up? Back to peak, baby.
This song's really good. I like this quite a bit. This is a good opening.
I'm so excited for you to listen to all the Umineko music.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
She seems kind of important.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not happy. You don't like that character, do you?
No, it's just like there's so many characters.
Load. It was right here.
Not much. Saw 2 shop cats while out today. What do you mean not much? That's amazing.
That is pretty good. Anyways, back to it. I remember the Rose Garden, but don't remember this guest house at all.
Mm-hmm.
Was it built like recently? Torion Visitor's Retreat was written on a gatepost like thing, but since everyone called it the guest house, I followed their lead. I mean, that's kind of what a guest house is. The brand new Western-style guest house that stood overlooking the Rose Garden had a magnificent design, carefully done in harmony with the garden. Correct! It was built just the year before last. Since then, we've been having them let us sleep over here. That's a slightly awkward
That's so
line,
fucking rude.
Yeah, because people seem to like this place more than that junky old mansion we've had forever. Oh, yeah, that old fucking thing. Rich. Wish my room was over here. You could just live over here, dog.
Literally.
Yeah, Maria. I want one too. Want one too. I guess you could call my house upper class as well, but I was reminded again how completely ordinary it was compared to the head house. It showed a shocking display of wealth that they would build this kind of awesome guest house for guests who come over like once a year. Like, they had this butler tuxedo sort of situation going on, and they're like, no, we're going to make Canon wear a dress. We're almost a dress.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Iva-sama, Hideyoshi-sama, please do make use of this room.
That is fucking weird.
Kiri-sama, please make use of this room here. Like, how am I supposed to, take, Eddie, how am I supposed to take this when they had the sexual, what could have very easily been interpreted as a sexual abuse metaphor right before introducing the guy that's wearing what is as close to a female uniform as humanly possible, while a guy in a suit who is also a servant is right next to him?
Girl, I don't know what you want me to say. I thought it was just anime.
Rudolph, please make use of this room here. Yes, I do appreciate how pretty and elegant this place is. Western style truly is wonderful. Westaboo.
God, I'm so obsessed with Ava's design, for real.
It's so crazy. I can handle the Western style for a few days, but any longer than that, you need the good old Japanese style. Hideyoshi, maybe this is just me, but it feels like there's maybe a slight mismatch with you and your wife. With everything, in every way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still. I must say, I think they still work together, but damn, Japanese people just relax best on tatami mats. They've been fighting over making our new house Japanese style or Western style. Mother still holds a grudge about father having started the constructions, Japanese style, and they bicker all the time about it. Your parents get along so well, George Nissan. I'm jealous as hell. They just started, like passive aggressively, like not really passive aggressive sniping, but like something that you could interpret as like passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm. They were snarky.
Yeah, they were snarking to each other. Like if that's like, wow, I'm so jealous. Like her parents was fucking like, they must be shooting each other like in the hallways. Mine are so frosty, and yet they're right with each other when it comes to my grades. All the rooms seem to be two-person. I was grateful because now I wasn't going to be forced to share the same room with the old bastard for some bullshit reason like being family. Besides, I figured those two wouldn't be able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around. Yeah, listen, I wouldn't want to see my dad get pegged either, no matter how big a bastard he is.
Not what I expected.
It's a creepy smile about. I mean, Badler, you got to stop thinking sexual thoughts about your family. You got to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you? Badler. Something dirty? Of course not. Please enjoy your stay. That hurts, you old bastard. Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind. Cut the crap. I'm getting a stomachache and I'm not in the mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around. You play as nice as possible with Dad and Aniki and the rest. At the very least, pay attention to what you say in front of Dad, got it? Because wisecracks go over like a lead balloon with him. Jessica-chan, what's the mood of the family head been like lately? Same as last year, I guess. Considering they keep saying he's got 3 months left, he's as lively, grumpy, and irritable as ever. Meaning he's in his usual bad mood again this year. And the only one who's able to take care of him is Genji-san. Seems the master will only open his heart to Genji-san. Lately, small people cannot even get an audience. He shut himself up in a study again, probably doing nothing but that weird black magic of his. What he does for a hobby is his own damn business. When he starts stinking up the place, it really gets on my nerves. I'm gonna just stay up in that study and never come out again for all I care.
God damn.
I love that expression I love that expression with
Yeah. I love how like Rose is so concerned.
You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Ushiromiya family, and a little gratitude wouldn't hurt. Yeah, but you don't have to live with him, bitch. Sorry.
Literally.
After being rebuked by George Haneke, Jessica had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. The Ushiromiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but that, of course, meant that all its members were eccentric people, completely at odds with the rest of society. I'm glad he understands that rich people are all freaks, deep in their heart. Nice lamp. Glad we can zoom in on it. The head of the family is standing at its peak. In other words, our grandfather seemed to be a particularly eccentric and terrifying person, even for our family.
That feeling when you don't want to draw a background.
I mean, I get it. It's more flower motifs too, so who would have guessed the Japanese love their flower motifs? Dad said he was getting a stomachache earlier, but I guess that was all what all the adults who came here today were actually feeling. No doubt they were jealous of us, the grandchildren, just playing and laughing without care. From the stories Dad told me, the head of the family was a violent man who rained blows on his sons with his fist and even beat his daughters mercilessly with a wooden sword. Neat! He
just
was such
casual
a staunch
child abuse.
Yeah, he was such a staunch traditionalist with his kids. Why wasn't he the same with their names?
God, he's so mad.
Why is he so fucking... He's like, man, our names are fucking stupid. We're Japanese.
It's probably embarrassing.
Yeah, because of that, even us grandkids have to suffer. He's so fucking self-centered. Holy shit. Well, I have absolutely no trouble believing the terrifying image they painted him. I don't remember memories of meeting him over the years, but I remember his face full of menacing thunderclouds, always making the people around him shrink away with a sharp look. I remember that the room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around, he couldn't even breathe. Well, it might have just been the stink, honestly. You know, old people smells real bad. I doubt, and you know, maybe he's rich and doesn't like to bathe.
I absolutely believe that Kinzo does not bathe.
It's going to sap my vital energies. What my dad said right now about me being the guest of honor now carries a little more oomph for me. 6 years ago, I was in grade school, but I'm a high schooler now. There's no getting away from it. If I don't show him respect, things will probably get serious. It's scary. He does look frightening, but he's not completely terrifying. George, you could say like a tiger mauling your face off was like, at least it's a majestic force of nature.
Literally.
He's definitely never unfair. I don't believe that. He's not just a pretty talker, that's all. But George Nissan, you've been the family darling since like forever because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. Hey, Barry. How we doing?
Barry, I missed you.
Like me, I've gotten slapped by a wooden sword. He beats me.
Oh my god.
On my ass! My ass! My maidenly naked ass! This is getting weirder. This is getting weirder as it goes on.
Oh god. How are you, Barry?
You're the heiress of the head house, Jessica-chan. Grandfather's giving you special attention. On your ass. Your maidenly naked ass.
Yo, you don't say it like
that. She said it like that! You have to realize that his strictness shows us how much he's expecting of you. Come on. Seriously, I could just turn the succession over to you, George Nissan. I'm surviving. How are y'all? Oh, we're doing all right. It's the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend.
The weekend! I'm gonna get Oreos and milk. You can keep going. I have my headphones on.
Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. It's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry. I think I already said it before, but Jessica's the daughter who will inherit the head house. Fresh on her shoulders must be different from us cousins, the branch families. Jessica One-chan, heavy? If I hold it, will it get lighter? I love you, Maria. Maria, I love you. It's alright. It's not going to get pushed on you, Maria-chan. I'm going to bear that cross until my grave. Oh! Don't worry. I mean, I'm kind of more worried now that you said that! While grateful for Maria's innocent consideration, it seems that Jessica could not easily rid herself of the anxiety for the future that remained visible on her face. I guess I'm no different. Any high schooler with exams looming ahead is bound to have anxiety for the future they can't hide. I mean, once again, Battler, I feel like maybe slightly different situations here. Maria, come here. You'll be in this room with Mom. Battler, apparently you were with me in this room here. Yeah, boys' night. Just the bros. Why are there 3 beds? This is a surprise. It's bigger than our parents' room. Wow. Wait, what? No, give me 1 second. Figure us cousins are probably all going to gather in one place anyways. Fuck that line.
Wow.
Wow!
I love Battler.
It's got such a, how do I want to put it? It's got such a Joseph Joestar, English energy to it.
Yeah. I told you, everything's so good in this game.
I figured his cousins are probably all going to gather in one place anyways, so I went and told him to make it a biggish room. Ooh, I like it here best too. Here's better than being together with Mama. Damn.
That's crazy.
Yo, she hates her kid. I'm telling you, she hates her kid. Okay, you like it better here? You like it here better too, Maria. All right, this room is George and mine, so we'll give you special permission to come in. He's so good with kids. Keep it a secret from your mom, all right? Secret. Her mother, Auntie Rosa, was right behind her, but Maria still answered, striking the air with her fists punched tight. This is really good. How do people hate Maria? How the fuck do people hate Maria? I'm genuinely I don't understand it. She's so cute. After her parents put the luggage into their rooms, they gathered again in the corridor. So, brats, what are you gonna do? You cousins just gonna stay here and chat? Seems they were heading to the mansion to announce their arrival. Normally, we would have had to follow them and greet everyone together. But if that had been the case, Dad would have just said, "You guys come too," and been done with it. wishing Maria the best. Me too. He's telling us that it's all right if we don't come. So what do? It's going to be time for lunch soon anyways. This isn't like a visual novel with choices, is it? This is just like a straight through, like, linear progression sort
It's
of
straight
thing,
through.
right? Okay, so it's like no, okay, gotcha.
You don't have to worry about making a choice here.
Okay, I was like, this would have been a choice in like another sort of visual novel, but better let the kids unwind here. Besides, if worse comes to worse, honestly, this might be... Yeah?
I just said, like, I'm trying to imagine, like, what the other paths would be if you had to choose between going to the mansion with the parents or staying here. And, like, more Umineko would be so crazy.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Endless possibilities.
I'm so sorry if I asked if she was brain damaged. I thought it was just the authors not knowing how to write children the right way. No, I
you're
think
fine, Dagger.
I think that there's always like that initial hit of like, is this like what's going on with this character? Because it it's like you said, there's that minute of like, oh, it's the writer not knowing how to write children. It's like, no, it's this guy being like, no, I'm going to write this child like this who is developmentally challenged.
It's okay, Dagger. I thought it was funny. But, like, I don't even blame you because, like, I've seen the way anime have written children.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't blame you for a second. It's going to be time... besides, worse comes worse, this might be the last chance I get to play outdoors. What the fuck are you talking about, Hideyoshi? What?
The storm,
I'll
bro.
go too. Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha, the storm. I thought it was, like, more sinister than that. I kind of forgot about the typhoon. Maria, you house sit for Mama, okay? You behave yourself and wait here. Oh.
Lame.
Now that Maria had been told to house sit, we couldn't just leave her behind. George Aniki realized that immediately and gave a clear reply for all of us. Well, we'll accept your offer and house sit. We have lots of stories to tell each other after a year. That'd be best. And Badler could have 6 years' worth to tell after all. Yep. I'll take care of the house like a good little boy. Why are you talking like that?
Badler's such a freak, man.
He really is. What if his name was Ushiromi, like Freakler, and he sucked toes?
What's wrong with you?
I will leave the rest of the adults, and us kids will break rank. That'd be for the best. I love her laugh so much. I'll report it to Madam. And everyone, I will be guiding you to the mansion. Please, this way. I do not like Goda at all. Like, I get, like, bad vibes from this dude. It's his chin.
It's his double chin, isn't it?
It's his chin.
The other kids aside, it was a chin.
Yeah. The other kids aside, George is an adult now. Wouldn't it be better if he came with us? If we make him calm, poor George will be the only one left out. Interacting with his cousins is also important. Well then, see you guys.
See, Goda, if he wanted to be likable looking, should have been built like Hideyoshi. Round.
Yes, exactly. He should be fatter. Yeah, writing children is an advanced skill. You can't just make them stupid and irrational. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's the logic to like how they go, and I think that's like a weird thing where like a lot of people tend to think, like, especially like after like once they're adults or whatever, they start thinking that children are like a lot less competent than they are. Because like kids do have insight into stuff, they just don't have filters. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're just weird and blunt. They're not like idiots.
Yeah.
The adults left one after the other. Like the time he had guided us from the harbor, Goda-san went ahead with Kumasawa-san at the rear. Kumasawa-san at the rear. As we gathered in the cousins' room assigned to us. As we gathered in the cousins' room assigned to us, George Aniki asked us to excuse him for a second. They have knowledge, but lack of reference and application. Exactly. As we gathered in the cousins' room, he rushed over to Kumasawa-san, who was following behind the disappearing adult and seemed to be asking her something. He soon finished his business and came back. What's up, Aniki? I don't believe that. Nothing. I just wanted to ask something.
So foggy.
Ooh, ask me too. Ask me too. Oh. What could it be that George Nissan asks Kumasawa-san and doesn't ask me, I wonder? Is he fucking? He's not fucking. No, he's not fucking grandma. Come on, that'd be silly.
Yo!
I don't have a clue. No, you misunderstand. I'm not sure what you're misunderstanding, but I know you're an idiot. Aniki was getting pretty tongue-tied. It's like he had something to hide. Jessica had the dirt on him. Whatever it was, something only Jessica knows and I don't. It's no fun at all. Hey, Maria, it's not fair that we're the only ones out of the loop, is it now? We want to hear what they're talking about, don't we? Battler and me want to know, too. He's so good with kids. Like, I feel like he's known Maria for like 2 seconds, and they're kind of besties already.
Mm-hmm.
Battler and me want to know, too. Yeah! Let's do it, too! My mom teaches little kids violin. One time I joked with one of the kids that we should just throw all the violins away. My mom said, don't give in to peer pressure. Had to define peer pressure as doing things because your friends do them. Little kid immediately looks at me and goes, but she's not my friend.
Oh my god!
Yo, get cooked! I fooled around while going, oohing together with Maria. No, I'm telling you, it's no big deal. Liar! You suck at lying, now confess! I was like, yeah, we aren't true. It was hilarious. Maria, you tickle his right side, I'll tickle his left. Me on the right side, Battler on the left. I love how like each ooh is its own click. Like every single time. It's so good. Wait a second. Wait, you two? Stop. This is wonderful. I can't wait for everyone to start dying. George Tanaki rolled around on the bed in an effort to get away. Maria and I played around with chasing him. Something in the back of my mind telling me that I'm a high schooler now and not a damn kid. But inside of that, I miss this kind of fun. Warm kind of fun. What George Nissan was asking Kumasawa-san, see. Well, you know how it is. It's been a year since he last came to the head house. Apparently he's been really dying to say hi to any servants that might have joined or quit in the meantime, see? Ooh. Say hi, I'll say hi too. The hell? That's not anything to feel guilty about, Aniki. Who is he fucking?
Kumasawa-san.
No! That was a joke! That's not it, is it? Maria, don't be fooled. Aniki's still hiding something! Resume interrogation! These sound effects are so good! Stop it, seriously! Maria-chan, you too, stop already! I really love
Beating the shit out of him.
Giggle. They're probably busy with cleaning or lunch arrangements. It's alright, we'll go and greet them properly afterwards. Basically, you wanted... Okay, Shannon out there to greet you and not Goda-san getting in the way, right?
Goda ruins everything.
Shannon. I remember that girl. She's still a servant now? How is she?
Just the mouse.
Flashback? Steady pace.
No, it's not a flashback. I think we're just changing location.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Natsuhi-Nissan, how's your headache been lately? It seems to be pretty serious for a time.
Let's go!
Is there a way to hide? Is there a way to hide the dialogue?
You want to see her outfit?
Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea.
Her terribly boobed boobs.
Yeah, these boobs are like crazy.
You want me to send you a Sprite? Dress.
Yeah, it's fine. Why is her hair different colors? Is that like a
honestly,
headpiece?
I don't know. No, I think that's her real hair.
This is like
she might have it.
This is like the weirdest two-tone
so.
I've
My
ever
hair
seen.
does the same thing because I have it dyed. I think based off of her old Sprite, she also has her hair dyed. So it's supposed to be like an ombre, but it's like because she has it in a ponytail, it like cuts off really weird.
I see. I haven't been much better lately. Thank you for your concern. Okay, so she is the one who married it. So she's the one who married it because she's got a Japanese name. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
A present for you, Natsuhi-san. Thank you once again. I'm always receiving gifts from you.
This is her old sprite, and this is like the one we see in the game. Oh, actually, this is full body.
Oh yeah, no, it is like an ombre. Okay, so it's like a gradient sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Neat. What? Why am I looking at these two together next to each other, and I'm thinking to myself in the back of my mind, Yuri?
Mom Yuri.
Mom Yuri. Thank you once again. Is this black tea? It's herb tea with peppermint and lemon balm. It's a blend from a famous store, and it's supposed to be good for headaches. Thought it might help you too.
She got her a gift.
Rosa was
Maybe
always
conscientious. Yuri.
Yeah, Rosa was always a conscientious woman, probably because she was the youngest of four, and by quite some distance.
What?
Who's narrating?
Oh. Well, anyways.
Who is the viewpoint character here? She managed to grow up without harboring the venomosity of her siblings. Her consideration made Natsuhi soften her expression for just a moment, but it wasn't enough to undo the many years of anxiety that had curled her expression into one of bland indifference. Jesus. She's chipping away. She's chipping away bit by bit, year after year, with the power of Mom Yuri. Oh, yes, you always were saying you get those headaches. Pull yourself together. Damn! Jessica Chad will have her exams this year. Oh, she's like, oh,
we're
this
getting
bitch
to the
married
real good shit.
Oh, she thinks she's a gold digger, doesn't she? Isn't that a turning point in her life? How can she count on her mother like that? Besides, Natsuhi-san, you're 3 years younger than me. Can't you pull yourself together? Jesus! Okay, so Ava's definitely getting killed by this bitch at least once.
I'm surprised they're not killing each other already, honestly.
I apologize. I was born with this discomfort. Oh, she has anxiety. Okay.
She has chronic illness.
Ava sometimes fails to choose her words carefully, but even though she hit it with a smile, her comments aimed at Natsuhi contained shards of obvious malice. Of course, that didn't escape Natsuhi. He frantically contained her urge to grimace and pretended to ignore Ava. Our Badler-kun will have his exam this year, too, right? Rudolph-san, shouldn't you be a little concerned, too? For the sake of your own, get serious to the point of getting headaches with Natsuhi-san. Stress more. I want you to have stress headaches. If I say anything, he automatically goes against it. So what should I say? Maybe the opposite, that it's okay for him to mess around? No, he won't just mess around if that's the case. That's probably the only thing he'd obediently listen to. In your family, Hideyoshi Nissan, didn't George do really well on his exams? Please, teach me the secret to controlling children. Well... It's probably because I convinced him why he should study. Study isn't worth anything on its own. That's right, the real point of studying is to train yourself in the arts of research and what you don't know. This is true! This is, like, genuinely, like half the point of, like, going to school and, like, doing, like, half the shit you do during school. Is to, like, teach you how to learn.
Yeah.
If you can't do that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, a lot of people have still not realized that.
Oh, yeah, of course. Right? Like... So... You can't do that. If you can't do that, you can't be useful to society. I'm not talking about math or writing. You need to learn how to learn. Yeah! Hideyoshi gets it! Hideyoshi... I like Hideyoshi. He's all right. That's splendid. These two people that aren't freaks, who married in... Well, they are still freaks, actually. But, like, they married into the family, so they're more normal. Yeah. It would be nice if our Jessica could understand that, though. I don't mean this too seriously, but as it is, as an heiress of the Ushimiya family, you really have to force her into becoming the successor? Women have to find their own happiness. Parents should be deciding that for their children, right? Jesus, Ava. Ava, why are you tearing into this bitch so hard?
She fucking hates this woman.
Hold your horses, Ava. Each family has its every family. Each family has its way to raise their children. You shouldn't be so pushy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Nazi-san, don't take it the wrong way. The light shining in the window was quite warm despite the cloudy weather. There was a dark mood about the room, which probably caused headaches for people besides Nazi. As if to brush away the mood, Kyrie brightly made a suggestion all present. Still, this black tea has a really lovely aroma. Let's drink it at once. I believe that in Japan you can't buy something like Leopold's black tea anywhere but Ginza, right? Kyrie Nissan, how knowledgeable of you. It was really worth buying. Kyrie and Rosa stood up from their seats and made as if to prepare the black tea. I love how how do we salvage this social situation? Make the tea. Women be shopping.
God, why is Kiri's head so huge? Or maybe it's just because she has a different hairstyle.
I think it's just because of the different hairstyle. Like everyone else has like hair that kind of obscures their faces a little bit. Also, it's because her head is huge because she pegs. Natsuhi forestalled them. Thank you both. Let us save that for later. One of our people will soon be coming to bring tea, so please relax. Leave it for later, you two. Let him treat us to a welcome drink, at least. Rudolph gave the subtle signal with his eyes for them to sit down again. Kyrie and Rosa understood instantly and obediently returned to their seats. Oh, he flexing a little bit. The guests had already been greeted, so it was time for some tea to be prepared for them. That tea was late, and having the guests talk about making some themselves was an embarrassment for the host. Natsuhi bit her lower lip, frustrated with the ineptitude of the servants who were taking too long to bring the tea. Shannon, how could you? Seeing her face, Ava, without hesitation, started to giggle. Jesus! Of course, Shannon... Yeah!
You can already fucking tell.
Of course. Of course, Shannon had no way of knowing what was taking place in the parlor. As she came in pushing a discard pile with teacups, Natsuhi gave her a pained look for no apparent reason. Shannon couldn't help but flinch without knowing what she had done wrong. Damn. Titties. Her
boobs.
Why her boobs? She is basically wearing the exact same thing as Canon, but with a white thing on the top and a skirt. It's the exact same style, like puffy shoulder and like the little like tie with like the gem, the brooch or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's so fucked up that they made.
They're servants.
Mm-hmm. Like it's so fucked up that they made like him wear like basically her outfit without like instead of like Goda's outfit.
Accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I shall prepare some tea for you. Sharon-chan, it's been a while. You keep getting prettier every time I see you. How old is Shannon?
You'll find out.
Oh, thanks. Leave the chatting for after you set the table. The tea will get cold. I apologize, madam. Apologized like a small frightened animal and bumping against the serving car made a jarring racket as she dropped several teaspoons. I can see why George is into her. Her clumsiness made Natsuhi's expression even harsher, which made Shannon in turn quail even more. It's alright, Natsuhi-san. What does a single greeting matter? We've already been made away for so long, the tea must be quite cold anyways. Ava, you gotta calm down. Ava, you gotta calm down.
She's such a bitch.
This is crazy. Why does she hate her so much? It's alright. It's not cold yet, so... Shannon, finish setting the table quickly. I'm sorry, madam. It's obvious that Natsuhi was getting irritated. The ineptitude, the delay of the tea, the clumsiness of the servant, everything pointed to the incompetence of Natsuhi's everyday guidance, making her lose face. As the person in charge to manage the Ushiromiya head house, allowing that clumsiness to be exposed today of all days was nothing less than total humiliation. Lay off, Natsuhi-san. Don't you think it's a little harsh to bully Shannon-chan while she's trying her best? I'm not bullying anyone. What a nice smell. That's really like I can't tell if she's like just like choosing to ignore like the situation that's happening here, or if she's just like I need to fix this. I need to do anything I can.
Yes.
What a nice. May I ask you the brand of this tea?
Oh God!
I'm terribly. You should have just let it go. I'll find out for you later. Here, tried to be nice to her, wanting to cut through the tense mood. However, instead, Shannon showed a disgraceful display, darkening Nazi's face and the room smooth. Damn! I'm so sorry, Shannon. But at this point, Eva's giggles were loud enough to be heard by everyone in the room. What's this?
I'll be right back. I'll have my headphones on.
Alright, Shannon-chan, don't you even know what you're pouring us? Come now, you mustn't serve something so suspicious to guess. We'll need a silver spoon at the very least before we can drink this. I'm sorry. I'll go get one immediately. Shannon-chan, do you know what silver spoons are used for? Or why they have to be silver? Do you know why? No, His eyes played over Shannon. This bitch is gonna be shot by the end of this fucking scene. Sorry, George, your girlfriend got murdered. Your mom's the one who did it. As the caddy smiled, as Ava's eyes played over Shannon, who was setting the table, the caddy's smile floated onto her face. Taken on its own, the expression of Ava's face may have been charming, in an impish sort of way. However, the words were being spun from her lips held with them the keenness of a razor. Shannon tried with all of her might to avoid Ava's gaze, but continued to focus on her. Asking that Shannon was hard-pressed for an answer, Rosa promptly gave them some timely help. They say that silver dims if it's touched by poison. You've learned something, right, Shannon-chan? The tea was being treated as undrinkable unless it could be first tested for poison. And Nazi's eyes was an insult both to the tea and herself for serving it. Rudolph, laughing flippantly, patted Ava's shoulder. Yeah, you don't need any silver cutlery. With just one lick of your poisonous tongue, even a silver plate would go pitch black. Damn! I mean, he's right, but damn! Like, even his husband, even her husband's just like, yeah, man, my wife's bitch. My bitch wife, lovingly. Affectionate. I get to hear that poison tongue every day, so I must be poison-proof by now. Ava, I don't mind you doing it to me, but you gotta tone it down a smidgen for the poor souls without resistance. Hideyoshi's so cool.
Right?
My, how cruel. I think I gave Shannon-chan a bit of information about tea, didn't I? Wait, what happened? What the fuck happened between these two? What the hell? Everyone followed the lead set by
are
Hideo.
so toxic.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's like day and night when you go between the kids and the adults.
Like, the second the kids aren't around, they're like, okay, we're start shooting now.
Yeah.
There remained a single exception to this Nazi, but even so, for the time being, the conversation inside the parlor can now be mistaken for a lively and friendly chat. As Shannon finally finished serving the tea table, letting the tea table mate to leave, Kyrie apologized for her in a low voice without not being able to help. Shannon gave a light bow and beat a hasty retreat. I don't blame her. I would get the fuck out of there, too. Shannon cast her eyes downward, pushing the car through the corridor. Pitiful air around her made it obvious that she had borne the brunt of some bullying. Don't be sad. See, look, they are wearing the exact same thing. It's even like the same necktie.
Oh, you're right.
You didn't do anything wrong, Nace. Oh, they're siblings.
Yep.
You were watching. That is my duty. Madam and Ava-sama can go to hell. I mean, yeah, that, you know what? Fair. But the even worse coward is that guy. What? Cannon glared hatefully in the opposite direction of the parlor.
Let's go.
Preparation for the tea had been delayed a little bit of trouble in the kitchen. It had not been Shannon's fault. The truth is that it had been Goda's Fuck him!
Yeah.
In the first place, there was no way that a show-off like Goda would ever hand over a flamboyant job like carting the tea to the guest. He had needed to make the tea all over again, which made him late. So, realizing that he wouldn't be earning any brownie points, he had pushed the task of setting the table on Shannon, who happened to be passing by. One could truthfully call it being shrewd, and one could unquestionably call it cowardice. What a fucking
Yep.
What a fucking bitch! I hate him.
You were right. He sucks.
It's alright, Cannon-kun. Thank you. I really don't mind. You should. Stick up for yourself. Cannon's silence visibly showed that Shannon's words weren't coming from her heart. Thank you. Even if you're the only one who understands, I still feel a bit better, I think. You bottle up things too much, Nissan. You should be less hard on yourself for once. I love how they both have like they're basically almost the exact same design. Like they have the exact
Mm-hmm.
same hair length. They both have like the poofy fluffy hats. They got the exact same sort of tie with the same gemstone sort of thing attached. The poofy
Mm-hmm.
shoulder. Like it's really crazy how similar they are.
Yeah. She doesn't have the wing on her neck though.
No, she's not. But like her collar's much smaller, so I don't really. It makes sense.
Not big enough for a wing.
Yeah. Why
Shannon,
is
get it
there?
together. Get a bigger collar.
What? Just put the wing on her tits.
Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah, I'm kind of Like I'm sitting here and I'm like that feels kind of like on brand. Suddenly, they both felt someone's presence and rolled around. Kill! Oh no, sorry, wrong guy. I saw a man. You see, look, he's wearing a tux too. What the fuck is what the fuck? Why the fuck are they doing this to Cannon?
Oh god.
The fuck is their problem? An elderly man stood there. It was Genji, the head servant.
The whole list?
What are you doing here? Shannon, hurry back to the kitchen. The whole list.
The whole list. Okay, so you're gonna have to start with Umineko episode 1, Legend of the Golden Witch.
Oh.
And then you're gonna have to keep making your way until you reach the last episode. Don't worry, you'll get there in a few months or years.
Sorry, did someone say something in chat about like a list or something? Because I didn't see that.
What?
No, I
What
didn't miss
list?
anything. Sorry, you said the full list.
Oh no, I was answering you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What are you doing here? Shannon, hurry back to the kitchen. Yes, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you, Burger King.
Shannon humbly obeyed and promptly made it push the cart and leave. However, Cannon appealed to Genji in silence, bearing something that his eyes they could not express in words. What is it? Did something happen? Shannon didn't do anything wrong. But those... Stop it, Cannon-kun. If you'll excuse me. I'll return to work immediately. Cannon-kun, you too. Go back to your post. Please. You say so, Nissan. He's so tired. He's so, like, he doesn't want to deal with this. He doesn't want to deal with this shit at all.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing, then go. Just go. Yes, if you'll excuse me.
I
From the
love
shadows
her.
in the hallways, an old woman wearing an apron watched over them. It was Kumasawa. How heartrending, Kanon-san. There's no reason for those two to be picked on, but cannot be denied that they are disliked by Goto-san. It's because of his split chin. It's where he keeps all of this evil. Before Goto-san was taken in by the Urushiromiya head house, I heard he worked for a fabulous hotel somewhere. I do think the manner of work he learned there was quite something. It's just that Goto-san is the newest servant here. He must have a lot of pride accumulated from his previous posts. Because Shan and Cannon-kun are seniors here at the mansion, and yet are inexperienced and have gone through much less in life than he has. He picks on them at every chance he gets. Yeah. So, although it's terrible, they are hated by Madame Natsuhi too. Of course, in terms of experience, Madame has been in the family much longer. However, I must feel some sympathy for Madame as well in this case. I mean, yeah, fair. Master is truly a cruel person. Why could he have not realized that his trifling woman would pass such an inferior complex on to Madame? His what?
Hmm? His what? What?
Did Natsuhi's husband cheat on her?
I wasn't paying attention, so sorry.
No.
I'm painting my nails.
Incredible. No. I'm just like, I must feel some sympathy for Madame too in this case. The master is truly a cruel person. Why could he have not realized that his trifling woman would pass such an inferior complex on a Madame? Like, I'm reading that and I'm like they're like Kanon and Shannon aren't like Natsuhi's like husband's bastard kids or something, are they? Like, it makes it sound like he, like, cheated. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But, like, it makes it sound like he cheated on, like, his wife or something. Naturally, deep
You
inside,
can
even
have
Madam...
all the theories, baby. I'm drinking it.
Naturally, deep inside, even Madam fully acknowledges that there's no reason to treat those two so harshly. However, the heart has reasons that reason knows not. How heartrending. I cannot do anything but watch over them from the shadows. Because they've been there for, like, way longer, back when they were, like, small children, so... Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it just does that sometimes.
Canon has a wing on him that makes you sus? Maybe. Because, like, the other servants don't have... The other servants don't have a wing.
Oh, this is also a fun thing I want to mention right now. But, like, that transition we just saw with, like, the clock ticking, the clock actually does tick to what time it is in the game.
Oh, that's neat. The four of us cousins
so it's
were
like
shooting
noon.
Gotcha. Four of us cousins were shooting the breeze over all kinds of topics. After all, there are both girls and guys here. Plus, we've got people over a wide spread of ages, adult, high school, and elementary school. All each of us had to do was talk about ourselves, and would have been great interest to the other three. I think I'm finally getting used to all this. I mean, Jessica and Maria, you've both grown more than I could have imagined over the past 6 years. So to be honest, I was feeling a bit uncomfortable. But talking like this, I guess it's on the inside. Nothing's really changed since back then. Right back at you. Even after 6 years, you haven't changed a bit. Although your body's gotten gigantic, you're still a kid inside.
I'm dead.
I'm a kid too. I love you,
I'm
Maria.
also 3.
I'm a kid too. You aren't going to be a kid forever, are you, Maria? I mean, you're going to grow from being a kid to a cute young lady, aren't you? When that happens, you know, I was about to say, like, that cute young lady, aren't you? And I'm like, that's the appropriate level that you should be keeping it to with family. And then, like, the line kept going, and I'm like, I see.
I told you Battler's a freak.
and when that happens, that flat as a board chest will be on Jessica's level, you know? When that happens, let me rub it, okay? Promise. What the fuck is your deal? Why are you grooming Battler? Why are you grooming your cousin? Ushinomi, a groomer. Let you rub it.
Stop!
Promise.
I can't pay my nails like this. I'm shaking from laughing too much.
Maria, no. I'm watching. I need to go get a drink. I can't watch a child become a victim like this.
I like Jessica's just on the side smiling and just letting this happen. Damn my fucking nails. What you guys up to? I can't believe that just made us stick on this screen for so long. This is gonna become his like Twitch bot thumbnail.
No!
Chilling with your cat?
No!
Nice.
No, not that. Please, God, no.
He came back into life.
No, Maria John, you can't make that kind of promise. That's bad. I promise I'll let him rub it. No, I keep my promises. Always keep them. Like, I love how, like, Battler's like, okay, actually, like, don't do that. You're a really earnest, good girl. The guy you marry is gonna be really lucky. Trying to smooth over the topic with a promise intact? Ah! Son of a bitch! Maria, that promise never happened. Never. Promise canceled. You have to... Battler, you have to stop victimizing children. I can't support this kind of behavior from a protagonist. The one, like, right now you're sub-Date level on the subhuman meter, which is crazy. But at least he never victimized a child. He would just hit on their moms a lot. Every single time a kid came onto him, he's like, "Gross. How old's your mom? She's single."
Yeah, I love Date.
What a perfect protagonist. Right, realize it now, but it didn't really feel like a proper gathering of cousins without Battlerton in our group, did it? You know, we didn't have anyone to groom anyone. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
6 years have been kind of lonely. That's true. We weren't able to goof off like this. So we did have some pretty constructive conversations, don't you think? Talk about preparing for our future, exam taking, or finding jobs. I bet this was all very interesting to Maria, who was like 7.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Now that I'm here, there's just this stupid babbling. I'm just yapping, I guess. But I'm having fun this
She
year.
didn't like talking about jobs.
She's like, no, that's
Wait, you didn't like talking about getting part-time jobs?
Why would they ever need a part-time job? They're rich.
I can see like Hideyoshi and Ava like forcing George to get like a part-time job.
No, you know what? I can see George doing it on his own. Like
That's
he doesn't
true.
like Hideyoshi maybe talks with him about like the value of like experience and work or whatever, and he just goes and does it. She's not indebted. Don't worry, my memory always remembers those deeds. Thank you. No, I'm talking about like the last couple of years where like she would have been like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
I agree. This year's the most fun. Maria's sincere words probably spoke for everyone. When George Haneke stroked Maria's head, she giggled like a happy kitten. And just like that, cat ear art of Maria all over the internet.
She's here.
Pardon me, your meal is prepared. George, your girlfriend! A timid knocking sound of an equally timid young woman's voice came through the door. Jessica answered brightly. Shannon, come in. You remember Battler, don't you? Jessica stood up from the bed and opened the door. There stood a servant girl who was definitely about our age. It's been quite some time since we last met, Battler-sama. Nice to see you after 6 years. I'm Shannon. Noting my presence and trembling a little bit, she bowed deeply. Battler, if you try to make a joke about touching this girl's tits, I'm going to kill you. Battler? I'm going to click this... Battler, I'm going to click this button, and I'm going to... You better not do this.
Don't die.
What's there to live for? What's so good about living? You turned into a total beauty too, haven't you? Okay. That wasn't technically a direct reference to her titties. Okay. Your words are too good for me. Shannon,
Better watch out, George.
George. Shannon, aren't you George's girlfriend? Son of a... Oh, I hate this motherfucker. Seriously, the food on this island must be really nutritional now. What are you eating? Why does it get worse? Where are you eating? Where are you trying to get titties that huge? Just let the feel of it and see whether yours or Jessica's are bigger. Okay. The power dynamic. I love how it just like it starts bad and it keeps getting worse. Like you start like it goes from like Battler going incest to like incest grooming to like power dynamic abuse.
Yep.
With both hands poised and saliva dribbling from my mouth, I closed in. George, kill this man. For the sake of my honor and justice, I'd like to point out I don't suffer from some strange disease that makes my lymph nodes itch until I scratch my neck open, which can only be prevented by rubbing breasts. It's just my Battler style way of communicating. What, sexual harassment? When a boy closes in on a girl like this, 9 times out of 10 they get slapped or clobbered, right? The Battler Samuel original communication technique, aiming for a gag like that to break the ice.
He's stupid.
Saying, no, I'm only sexually harassing these women so I get the shit kicked out of me so it's a funny bit is not as a guy who's like commits to the bit all the time, this is not the win you think it is. Yeah, here it is. You know, that means I do really get to touch him on that 1 out of 10 chance though, right? I never asked for that much though. She is a servant in your family's household.
I think Valor needs brain damage. I think he already has some.
No, he needs more. He needs to be a vegetable. The counter-strike he did to come. She understood what was going on. She was blushing and had her head lowered in embarrassment. He was just standing there with both hands politely joined in front of her, not even trying to resist or cover her breasts.
Hey, Crackly. Perfect emote to come in on.
Whoa, I wasn't planning on this. Please hit me right now. At this rate, I'm seriously gonna touch him. George, kill him. Which is why I'm glad Jessica chose that time to drive her elbow in the back of my head. He's like, please, thank you. This is like...
Yeah.
Someone come castrate this man. Beatrice, come here now and like put this man in a cage. Jessica, thank you. Why the hell are you thanking me? What?
The extra question
No, my
mark.
bad, Shannon. Looks like I got a little absorbed in your hip. Looks like I got a little absorbed in your hypnotic chest. No, more to the point, when someone gets that close, they've clearly got criminal intentions. Seriously, you gotta resist. You do not understand the dynamic here, my man! Hello, correctly. I don't remember if I said hello yet or not. You are an exalted guest, Battler Simon. Look here, a crime's a crime whether I'm a guest or not. This is the correct attitude to have, Battler, but you do not understand, and also this bit's rancid. Now look here, crime's 10 centimeters around a girl's fence is like an air defense identification range. If someone trespasses within 2 centimeters, that's already an invasion of airspace, and you launch a slap on the face on high alert. I couldn't do such a thing. Cannon's gonna slit your fucking throat, dude. I don't care how much yaoi energy you two have together.
Oh,
hey, Kershay. It's Kershay Maraschino, excuse you. So, those
sorry.
boobs. Yeah.
Yep, they're boobing.
That is furniture. Isn't this like the second time someone said some shit about being furniture?
Yes. Please
explain. Of course, she didn't want her breast touched, but if a guest so desired, she intended to sacrifice her own needs in effort to accommodate them. A girl like this needs some urgent protection. And these days, to think that there's such a dedicated and virtuous girl as this, I don't know if that's a virtue! Makes my head spin. Seriously, I need Battler to stop being a fucking criminal. Like, at least, or at the very least, space it out so we're not following up grooming with, like, power imbalanced sexual assault.
Okay, so I have good news and I have bad news.
Bad news first.
Okay, so the bad news is that he's gonna keep doing this, but the good news is that since he's basically already sexually harassed, like, all of the people that are his age or younger, he won't be doing that for a while.
Oh, thank God. So I dropped in at an interesting time. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be like Battler is going to, like, every time he sees a pair of titties, he's like, I need to, like, this is my bit. This is how I break the ice. This is my go-to. And I'm like, you're a fucking psychopath.
Basically, we just needed to survive the introduction of all the characters.
Yes.
And then
Speaking of
Battler just
tits.
stops.
Oh, speaking of tits, did you hear about the big new collab?
Which
the what?
one?
The what?
The throwing system for Twitch?
It's just like a Honkai Star Rail. Yeah! Yeah, I did see about that. Oh, that's crazy. How you gonna
Not
have
the tits I was thinking about.
how you gonna have the gotcha crossover with the gotcha? I mean, technically Fate Stay Night is not a gotcha, but you know what I mean.
Are you living your best or worst life right now?
The Honker Star Rail. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There you go. These days, think that and it makes my head spin. But no. Some Limited Blade works specifically for some reason. I think it's because that's like the most recent like animated project. Well, I guess there were the movies, but whatever. It's the most recent like anime project, like episodic anime project. So I guess that's technically what they have to go with. I come at you with a perverted face. You smack me down. No, pervert. You gotta complete the joke or it doesn't work. Please, it's a polite request. Smack me. Battler, you need a lobotomy. It's not enough to ask for a new sense of humor. You need to start from fucking nothing.
I feel so fucking bad for this girl.
I'm not voicing that. That's perfect.
She has not won once.
I cannot comply with polite request. However, I will let you touch my titties. Because I'm furniture. But I will comply with it if it's an order. This is giving this man far too much power. I know he's not actually like a bad dude and who won't like take advantage of it, but like it was too much. It was too much.
It's just concerning for other reasons.
Also, please somebody question why she keeps saying furniture, because that is my duty. Then I'll make it an order. George, you should have killed your cousin in cold blood. I'm sorry.
The inner strength that George has. Actually, underneath his suit, he has like an 8-pack.
Incredible. From now on, if Badlickun tries to touch your breast, you are to counterattack with a slap. Alright? Yes. As you command. That is what I will do from now on. Alexander, I think you can keep this in mind. So Shannon declared, while bowing elegantly to me. Her facial expression was radiant. He gave her a thumbs up to signal, you got it. 6 years ago, you might have been mistaken for a servant's daughter who just came to lend a hand sometimes. But now you're a full-fledged adult servant. How many years has it been? Well, I've had the pleasure of serving this household for about 10 years. She's that.
Shannon.
The kanji for her name are read as Shannon. This is another far from typical name for a Japanese person. Being a kid back in those days, I had taken in her name without paying it much attention. There's a decent chance she's a bastard of this family or something, because she's got that Western name convention too.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to be called something like that is pretty unusual, given that she isn't even a member of the Yushiromiya family. Maybe it's like a servant's professional name or something. If so, I can kind of understand why Cannon's name sounds the way it does too. Yeah, she's a long-term servant who served here since she was 6!
Yep.
So she's 16?
No, wait. I think
She served. She just said that it's been 10 years. It's she's been serving here for 10 years, and she started serving when she was 6. So she's 16 or 17, right?
I could have sworn she was closer to George's age, to be honest, but
yeah, because George is in his very early 20s, right?
Oh yeah, never mind. I forget how old George is.
She's actually a 3,000-year-old dragon. Dragon.
Yep. That's the real answer.
Incredible. Since her body had changed radically, she didn't match my memories, but we used to know each other 6 years ago. Looked like she was just as shy as she had been in the past, but I got the sense she had become imbued with a charm befitting a girl her age. Especially her breasts. Her breasts. I don't know why, because this is Date level dialogue, but I'm not expecting the Date, I don't know. Maybe it's because I guess AI is
So
technically a murder mystery too, but
the difference is that Date's a pervert in his head, but then he also just like flirts with like adult women he's into and
yes.
are into him. Like it's not an issue in AI the Somnium Files.
I see. Are these the mad titties you were posting about earlier, Det? No, those are completely different titties. I had no
Excuse me?
knowledge. I had no knowledge of the existence of these titties. You know that thing that I sent you earlier today.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Kita going like, I need to suck titties. I need to suck titties, or I'll die. Don't let me die. I need to suck. Let me suck some titties.
I miss Bochi the Rock.
Yeah, Bochi the Rock's pretty good. The kid we met earlier, Kaneko, is her little brother. He's not exactly my little brother. Still, he loves me like a big sister. That's a weird statement. Are they?
Look at her eye.
They're so
It's
similar though.
it's on her hair. But yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that. He didn't cause you any trouble earlier, did he? He's the same as always. Such a shame that he doesn't just act a bit more sociable. Jessica's like, listen, I've had one man who's like consistently lived here like at the same time as me. She's like, I need to hop on that. It seems common to cause trouble. I apologize. He didn't cause any trouble at all. As a fellow man, I understand how moody you can get at that age. So I'm surprised that he's unsociable. He's like, that's puberty, all right. I get called that all the time too. Get called unsociable.
What?
Like Canon. Maria-sama, you're not unsociable at all. No, she is super not.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was nice to be like him.
Aww.
She's like, she's like, no, I'm antisocial. The
She's like, let me
smile
have
on her
this.
face. You said the meal was ready, right? Yes. My apologies. Preparations for your meal have been carried out, so I shall be guiding you all to the mansion. Shannon bowed again formally and returned to her duty mode. Realized that if we made her stick around for any more light conversation, it would actually make it harder for her to do her job, so we got off of our butts to avoid interfering with her work any further. Should we go to the mansion, then? We're probably all starting to get hungry as well, right? Sure am. Always look forward to the meals when Godase is here cooking. That guy, he seems he was a chef at this famous hotel, so he's super good at it. Ooh, looking forward to that. Let's go, Maria. We're gonna stuff ourselves like pigs. Stuff ourselves like pigs. No, you can't just take everything Battler says seriously, okay? Because it's all jokes. Come on, let's go. George, come on, don't undermine our man like this. Just only when he's grooming or sexually assaulting, you can undermine him. Under Shannon's guidance, we headed towards the mansion.
Yeah, baby.
I love backgrounds.
Yep. Oh, we traveling now. Damn, the mansion's far as fuck.
Met once again by the magnificent Rose Garden, we continued onward as it came to view the imposing mansion of the Ushiromiya main family. Excuse me. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel this dignity of almost a half-century hanging about it. Wow, 50 whole years. On the surface, the building was gorgeous, but being as old as it was, seemingly lacking modern amenities like air conditioning. Ah, shit. According to Jessica, midwinter was tough with all the drafts. Not like they couldn't just take the kotatsu out.
Oh.
We entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Now I remembered. As the most senior member of the staff, Genji-san. That's Kanji. Servants, head of the servants. Peddler-sama, we have not met in quite in a long while. Genji's voice is like super cool. I'd like even if he's like even if he ends up being like a bad dude, I'm like still gonna be very impressed by his voice.
Mm-hmm.
As our eyes met, he saluted us with a composed voice. He didn't give quite a refined bow as Goto's, but it was a bow that had feeling, even if it wasn't polished to the same degree. It's been absolutely ages. You look well. Thank you. I have been quite well. And you, Battler-sama, I see you've become a splendid young man yourself. I would even say you've grown to somewhat resemble the master during his youth. I'm looking like grandfather. Guess that means grandfather was pretty popular when he was young. From here on, I'm ignoring this. We shall take Shannon's place and accompany you. Please, come this way. Shannon Shen bowed deeply and saw us off. Leaving the entrance hall, we headed to the dining hall under Genji-san's guidance. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people who had grown beyond recognition in the last 6 years. His figure was the exact same in my memories of 6 years ago. It seemed like time had stopped since we had last met. Genji-san was a silent and diligent person. He was like grandfather's close aide or caregiver. In fact, he could even go as far to say he was grandfather's right-hand man. So he's evil. Actually, it seems he was by grandfather's side more than my late grandmother was.
No, he's gay.
Damn. According to Jessica, grandfather trusts him more than any of his blood relatives. I wonder how long he served. I never asked for details, but I think he's been here since the beginning when the mansion was being constructed. That's to say, he's dedicated half of his life to serving here. So he's evil. No, he's gay. That doesn't necessarily clear things up one way or the other. No wonder grandfather trusts him. So we cut through the open ceiling hall behind Genji-san. I found something I had no memory of from 6 years ago.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, is this what I think it is? Yeah, it is! White women spotted.
White woman jump scare.
It was an awfully big portrait hung right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking under its spell. Crazy how you're pursuing the same girl as your grandfather did.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you really do look like him in your youth. Just making a quick clip. Don't mind me. No shit. Damn it. I can feel myself being converted to GIF format. Fucked up.
I saw your reaction, and I knew that this was gonna happen, and I was waiting for this. I was like, that's gonna be such a good GIF. I'm so excited.
I stopped walking under its spell. So I suddenly stopped. Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my back. I love you, Maria. Sorry. Hey, Jessica, did that picture used to be here? I pointed at the large and conspicuous portrait hanging in the hall. Everyone else stopped too. She's like, I don't like talking about this one. Right. When you last came here, that hadn't been hung yet, had it? When was it again? I think memory doesn't fail me. It was around the year before last. You are correct. In April the year before last, the master had this painting put on display, which he had instructed an artist to paint for him some time prior. Grandfather did this. Grandfather hit somebody up for commissions? So he went out of his way to have it drawn. His OC.
Yeah.
The portrait depicted a woman in an elegant dress who gave off a sense of refinement, who seemed to suit the Western style of this mansion. I couldn't have guessed her age, with the sharpness and obvious strength of her will in her eyes giving an impression of youth. It's a different feeling from the proposed mood of middle-aged women that are often in famous pictures. The woman had normal black hair. I might have thought it was a portrait of my long-deceased grandfather in her prime. However, the woman in the portrait had beautiful golden hair and didn't look Japanese at all. Is he queer, evil peon? Incredible. So, who is she then, this woman? As though trying to show off her knowledge, Maria answered that simple question with authority. Ooh, I know. Bito. You what?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. She's the witch.
Just so casual.
What a fucking statement. Did you ever hear about her long ago? The witch? You mean of the island? I think I already said this, but Rokinjima is a small island. It's only about 10 kilometers around. However, considering that only the Yoshiromiya family lives here, that's quite large. So only a harbor and the site around the mansion were set up to be lived in. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as it was when it was still uninhabited. To understand just how dangerous a vast and empty forest with no lamplight, phones, or people passing through it all actually is, you need to shift your urban assumptions a little. See, if by chance you fell down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprained your ankle, cry or scream, no one would come save you. This is a weird segue. You gotta be getting to somewhere here, Battler. If then it got dark, the forest, where there is no streetlights, would become enshrouded in complete darkness. Also, since there obviously aren't any guideposts here, it's easy to get lost and lose your sense of direction in the dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place. For the people of bygone eras, where the light of civilization drove out the night, forests were like oceans on land, geographically separating one culture from another. Just as a fisherman got out to the ocean eventually, occasionally had their lives put in danger despite their technical knowledge. Technical knowledge was also demanded of hunters who went out into the forest, and had their lives were occasionally put in danger just saying, "Damn, this is a fucking tangent." If a child were to play in that dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Some parent must have had that thought. Maybe my grandmother, or possibly the man himself, my grandfather, might have said it. Maybe it was a story handed down on this island from long, long ago. Okay, hey, don't go into the fucking woods. There's a witch. It's not big, but it's big enough that for the family to hunt homeless people and political enemies at night. Yep, there's a terrible witch in the forest, so you must not go in. Thus, Rokenjima's ghost story was born. This is the legend of the Witch of Rokenjima. So when you say witch on this island, we're referring to the master of the vast and savage forest. Which reminds me, when I was little and stayed at this mansion, during the eerie nights where the wind and rain struck the windows, stories like the Witch of the Forest is roaming around in search of a sacrifice would scare the heck out of me. Beatrice, huh? I searched my memory, prompted by Aniki. I did vaguely remember being told that was her name when I was very small. Right. Still, I completely forgot that the Witch of Legend had an elegant name like Beatrice. Like, excuse me, I haven't been putting respect on her name. I hadn't had an elegant name like Beatrice.
Beatrice.
God damn, don't tell me grandfather went out of his way to have her depicted in this painting just because our grandchildren refused to believe him. Yeah, it's the witch from Grandfather's Delusions. Ever since he had this picture hung up, he's been living the distinction between fantasy and reality. To us, it's no more than the witch from his imagination, but to grandfather, she's a being who exists on this island. Exists. That's why he said he had that picture painted, so we'd understand. Creeps the hell out of me. Milady, to the master, this is an important portrait. I must strongly request that you not say such a thing in front of him. Oh, I know. You couldn't get me to say it even if you begged me. Jessica turned away after glaring a second at that portrait. Let's go. Making everyone wait in the dining hall. Hungry. Only a small portion of this island is controlled by the Yushiro Omiya family. If all the wild remainder was the witch Beatrice's domain, then one could say she was the being who actually ruled over Rokenjima. That unsettling, ominous feeling I had felt in the boat trip when I learned that the shrine had been struck by lightning was revived within me a bit. At the time,
she's got a nice design.
Yeah. By the way, is there meant to be game music right now? There should. Oh god, has the music been muted this whole fucking time?
Oh my god, no fucking way.
Oh, it super has been. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh god.
This whole time? You've been streaming for like an hour and 17 minutes.
Yep, this whole time. Oh god, there hasn't been a bit of fucking there's no fucking dialogue. I went back and clicked that thing for the voice line and no one heard it!
What?
Remember when
how did we get here? I know, I remember, just like, guys, it's been like an hour and 18 minutes. Why did no one say anything?
Guys, if there's no audio, please tell me! God damn it, it's been an hour! Ah! That's lazy
worse than lazy waiting.
There were multiple people. There were so many people here.
Thank you, Kersha.
Thank you, Kersha. You're my only friend in chat. Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
The time Kumasawa-san had tried to tell an ominous story about Rokenjima had been stopped by Jessica. Oh, I clicked the fucking button again accidentally. Whoops. I didn't know what she had tried to tell us about the island. There's one thing I did know. Rokenjima's ruler was not the Ushiromiya family. It was the witch, Beatrice. Yes, because this is the witch's island. Badler, stop freaking out about witches, I'm hungry. You're slow. When I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining hall. I heard they chase after them. We're here to listen to you. Yeah, but the music. We walked up to the huge double doors.
Very important.
that led to the dining hall. Genji-san knocked. I have brought the children. Well, excuse me. Is that correctly? Is that why you were doing emote only? Correctly. Don't tell me that's why you were doing emote. Is that why you were doing emote only and you weren't actually typing like any actual words in the chat? Okay. I was gonna lose it.
Not evil.
I was gonna fucking lose it. I just felt like doing emotes. Okay, good. I was like, this can't be a bit. If this is a bit, I'm going to
do bits like that.
If that was a bit, I was going to drastically alter the course of your guys' lives right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
The door was open and we were invited inside. I don't have a sword, so I'm absolved of guilt. Yep, exactly. The dining hall, which screamed filthy rich, featured a super duper... I don't know why I said super duper. Featured a super long table, which was obviously designed for no other purpose than to make the guests conscious of their rank. And our parents were already seated at it in accordance with that ordering. You're late, brats. Hurry up and take your seats.
You better get that pet debt in.
The old bastard presses sit. Only places where we would sit are empty along the long table, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. Seated at the very head of the table, which you might call the seat of honor, was for the most highly ranked, reserved for grandfather. Still empty. He was probably planning to come in last to make himself look important. Yeah. Seating orders you faced the seat of honor went from left to right in rows of two, with the ranking being lower the further you were from. So on the left side of the row closest to the seat of honor was the second-rate seat, belonging to the others of the old sibling, Uncle Cross. We gonna see him? It looked like he hadn't arrived yet either, so that seat was empty. Opposite him, on the right-hand side of the first row, sat the eldest daughter of his family, Auntie Ava, ranked at number 3. Left-hand side of the second row was for number 4. There sat the old bastard, Rudolph, third of the siblings. Opposite him sat number 5, the youngest sibling, Auntie Rosa. Going like this, you might think the next one would be their husbands and wives, but nope, sorry. Yes, again, because the left-hand seat in the following third row, named 6, was actually Jessica's seat. Opposite her was George Haneke. Then the seat next to Jessica was me, opposite me was Maria. Next to me on the left-hand side of the fifth row, all the way down at number 10, finally came Aunt Natsuki. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi, and Aunt Natsuki, the sixth and final row on the left-hand side was Kirie-san.
Fucking crazy.
The seat opposite to Kirie-san had been laid out like the others, but it was empty. According to this ranking system, that was supposed to be where Auntie Rosa's husband should have been sitting. But he hadn't come as far as I know, so the table had been laid for his seat. This kind of ranking orders usually permit the spouse corresponding status, but the Ushiromia family had an original kind of ranking, where everyone who married in was worse than dog shit.
Literally.
Aunt Nazi, yeah. A gosh darn super duper table. It's Nito. No, it's Beto. It's different Beto. Maybe it's leftover of male chauvinism. Under the notion the mother's womb is only a temporary house for the child, that she contributes no genes. What? I was so shocked that I clicked. The children of descent would have the highest ranking, followed by the grandkids. Contributed no genes? What are you talking about? Then George is not worth dog shit then, under that rule. Or Maria. What the hell? Terrible, but according to that ranking order, grandmother, if she was still alive, would be in a position even lower than mine. In youth, obey your father. After marriage, your husband. After aging, your children. Left over the times they used to say women, no home in 3 worlds. Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring this all out, I thought it was so great that we could all chat with the adult siblings, while sitting in the group and with the adult siblings sitting in their group and us cousins in ours. However, now that I can re-examine the seating order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsuki, married to the eldest son of the family, responsible for managing the household, number 2 for all practical intents and purposes, sat to my right, which meant that she was 2 steps lower than me in the ranking order. It's difficult to guess what was going through her head, so I made a small apologetic gesture before sitting down. How nice to see you, Ballet-kun. You've grown quite tall, haven't you? Ah, yeah. Normal life, you know, food, meals, eating, then suddenly I was this tall. Boys do grow fast, don't they? How tall are you? I guess at 180 centimeters. She never brings Levi's, unfortunate.
Look, she's smiling.
No, you missed your moment. You're supposed to jump in with, did you do anything besides eat? Huh? She's like, what? What the fuck?
Oh god. She
Jesus.
laughed.
This is such a mismatch. This is maybe the most tragic mismatch I've seen yet.
Yeah. It's
After
so
a moment,
bad.
she gave a small laugh, but she didn't seem to quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. This woman is Aunt Natsuhi. She's the wife of the eldest son of the family, meaning she's my dad's older brother's wife. Yeah, it's easier if I get to call her Jessica's mother. I was about to say it like this, but not that I hated her. I didn't particularly like her. Never got into her kids' circle, and my only impression of her was that somebody who always talked about complicated stuff with my parents, having a kind of crabby expression on her face. She earns it. The fact is, having barely ever exchanged words, I hesitated a lot just even now about how to approach her. Nope. And it was pretty much a flop. There we go. Silverware had been tightly set up on the table, the meal itself hadn't been brought in. As a rule, the meal doesn't start until the man at the head of the table has taken a seat. As long as grandfather, the highest rank, didn't come, lunch would be indefinitely on hold. Not even the appetizers would come. In other words, this silence in the dining hall was the sound of our parents as they withstood their hunger and waited on tenterhooks for grandfather to come. Except the grandfather I remember always showed up right at the right time whenever we ate together like this. He wouldn't even have been so late. He wouldn't ever have been so late as to have everyone else waiting. Grandfather's pretty late. As far as I remember, he was always strict about staying on time. Well, maybe 6 years ago, yeah. But not lately. Seriously, he's off in his own little world now. He doesn't even show up at family meals. Figured he'd at least stick around for today's meal, though. Murdering is going to be triggered by them being hangry. Incredible. That said, if he doesn't turn up, it'll be a hell of a lot more relaxed and happier to boot. Ooh.
God, why did she open her mouth?
Being scolded by her mother, Jessica faced the other way, sticking her tongue out. Oh, hey, thank you for the sub, Crackly. I appreciate it. Thank you for the, Jesus, 20 months. Many, many months.
I know. Long time.
Sticking her tongue out. No way around it. Nothing to do but wait for the host to arrive. And I glanced at the clock. I saw it was almost 20 minutes past 12. The aged master of the Ushiromiya family head house, Ushiromiya Kinzo. He was there in his study. The clock showed noon, but he didn't even attempt to get up. He's got another Beto portrait in his study.
Yeah, he liked it so much. He got it twice.
With his reading glasses on his face, he stacked up an old-fashioned book with elaborately designed bindings on one side, top of another beside him, immersing himself in the reading. It definitely didn't look like it was for his leisure. On the contrary, he exuded impatience, crisis, as though every minute, every second were precious. The sealed room was dense with dancing dust particles. The air stagnated with a mix of various smells of various elixirs, each giving off its own suspicious stench. They were somehow sweet and heady. For everyone with a good nose, the first thing they do after entering would be to open a window and ventilate the room. The knocking against the study door had been going for a while. A voice calling father sometimes mingled with the knocks. Skin outside heaved a deep sigh. He snapped shut the old book he had in his hand and slammed it on the table. Then he yelled at Kraus, who continued to knock at the door. Silence! Will you not stop that noise, fool? Who taught you the door shall be opened unto you if you knock? They crucified that imbecile. Do you wish the same upon yourself? Father. Today is the day of the family conference. It comes just once a year. Everyone has gathered downstairs. Why have I drawn this outfit before? Incredible. Please come out. Kraus called out to his father through the door. Kinzo always shut himself up in the study and hated letting his family into the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call out thus from the corridor. Molest me not! No, don't worry, Badler's downstairs. You're cool. Everyone? Who is everyone? You refer to the fools trying to drag me out here? Then kill them all! Oh. I really hate that his tie is like on his neck, on the
I
shirt,
know.
but then it goes over
I
the
know.
cape and then back under his
I
jacket,
know.
which is under the cape. And I'm like, this sucks.
I know, baby. It's so bad.
Kenzo, you are overreacting. No, you know what? He's right. Kill him. Chop him up, make him into firewood, feed him to the witch's hearth. Put him in a pot, that hearth, and boil wormwood. Put that pot into that hearth and boil wormwood. If there still remains imbeciles foolish enough to dare try to lure me out of here, then force them to drink the broth of that apocalypse. Preserve the remainder in liquor. Genji, where are you? Ooh, let me click this. Oh jeez! Oh jeez, Genji! Oh no! Oh god! Oh, that witch's harvest! Where's my absinthe? Ginzo, where's my absinthe, Ginzo? But Maria is there. Shit, you're right. I take it back. He's wrong. Kill him. Kill him instead. Oh jeez! Genji, where are you? Oh jeez! Oh jeez, Kraus, where's Genji? Call for Genji, Kraus! Have my demonic absinthe prepared! The whispering of the green fairy reaches me no longer!
I can't with you!
Thank you, correctly. I'm now going to do a Morty voice for Kinzo for the rest of the game.
No, Gregory!
Oh, it's Genji! Call for Genji! Before the door opens, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji keep waiting for the master of the house.
Genji.
Genji. Oh, God, I hate
there
this
he
dude.
is. As you should.
This dude sucks. This dude sucks so fucking bad. Looks like he hates me to his core. He's right. Correct. If this was the member of my family that I spent the most time with, I would hate my family too. You know?
Mm-hmm.
My voice doesn't reach him anymore. Kraus shrugged as though saying it's no use, and smiled bitterly. He himself hadn't believed for a moment that his father would answer his calls. However, it was the duty of the eldest son, he had formally made the request. Kinzo-san, your son's daughters and grandchildren have come to see you, you know. How about you show your face? Just a little? Shut up! Be silent! You dare admonish me, Nanjo? I do not call for you, I said to call for Genji. Now hurry, call him for him this instant. Time is short, the apostles are already readying their trumpets. Why do you not understand this, you foolish sheep? Kinzo slammed the old, heavy book onto the table over and over. The racket obviously indicated his highest displeasure. Kinzo put his spectacles down and flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide, as if to sing to a packed opera house, as if to appealing to someone, and yelled, "Why? Why is there always something in my way? I would throw it all away. I would offer up everything, and there's only one thing I would ask in repayment. Oh, Beatrice, if I could see your smile but one more time, I would plunder the smiles of earth and offer them all up to you." Hoping, seething, not realizing that his girl is going to be pegging his grandson within like a couple of days.
This is too wild.
Oh, commanders of the Locust Legion, reap the smiles of the earth. Cough, cough, hack, cough, cough. Oh, Beatrice, it's all is filthy, all is irksome. Yeah! The Sprite! Why must I suffer this impediment on this most precious of days? Normal.
He's so pathetic.
Oh, Genji! Oh, jeez, Genji, oh no! I have no idea.
Doesn't care!
I have no idea what he's yelling. I guess he's finally gone nuts. Dramatic fellow. Oh, hey, Fiend. Welcome.
Hey, Fiend. Welcome.
You just miss Kershaw. I think you two of you would really get along. You guys should hang out sometime. Cross-san. Isn't that a bit harsh to your birth father? My dad's already dead. All that's left here is a phantom of what he once was. Anyway, as long as he lacks the will to leave that room, there's nothing we can do. Kinzo-san. Choking coughs continue to pour from the study. Going back downstairs. Everyone does more kayfabe than me. I only do kayfabe because Melanie insists on kayfabe a lot, and like I feel bad every time I forget. And I'm like, maybe if I made it a bit, I'd be better at kayfabe. So I'm making kayfabe my bit.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a waste to let that lunch go to so proud to get any colder. It's one of the few things he does that the others have to look forward to here.
Have you guys noticed that we're matching shirts?
Yeah! Kraus spun on his heels. He looked down at his wristwatch, mumbling something and mumbling and acting as though he'd wasted time doing something he knew would be in vain. Father's calling for you. Keep him company. Certainly. Nanjo, let's go eat. If we stay here any longer, even our sense of taste will go insane from the sweet smell. Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo looked first across his back as he disappeared down the stairs, then the study door, and he let out a deep sigh. Sorry, Genji-san. Please. Yes. Please leave it to me. If possible, don't give him alcohol. It's too powerful a habit. Genji not here yet? Who dare keeps Genji from coming? Who is edging my servant without me? Ah, where is Genji? Call for Genji! Det and Eddie and Det got in the machine from the fly, and the shirt is all that changed. It's really crazy. You really think there would be more of a difference, but here we are. Please, leave it to me. What's really weird is that Eddie's shirt didn't change. It was just mine.
Yep, my influence is that strong.
Sorry. Nanjo gave a small duck of his head and descended the stairs. Genji saw him off and knocked at the study door. My lord, here's Genji. Genji! Why must you make me wait so long? There is no one there, I trust. Yes, I'm alone. Kinzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. Oh, this is a... Okay, so they're very firmly establishing that this is a locked-ass lock room.
Yep.
After a small delay, the heavy sound of the door unlocking could be heard. Kinzo believed that his family might try to break into his study. Perhaps someone once opened the window for some air and scattered some important documents or something, and that had made him extremely upset. Now Kinzo had placed a secure lock in his room, making it so that without his permission no one could enter, and locking himself in the dungeon he himself had created. Boyfriend is going to miss the death scene. Oh no! Genji, who he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that was not absolute. Kinzo was in a bad mood, even he wouldn't be able to enter. Anyone else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, not even seeing his face. Most of the time, they wouldn't even get a real conversation. However, that didn't pose any particular problem for the family. That was because they had no reason to go out of their way to interfere with the retirement of Cantankerous and aged head. The fact that he was completely immersed in Zod research and always locked up inside of it was something of a benefit. They made the most of his refusal to leave the study, entrusting him to the servants while they themselves kept their distance. Genji, my usual. I'm busy. Yes. Genji headed to the corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering the fact that they were placed in the shady-looking room, you'd almost suspect that they might be ghastly poisons. This dude is crazy and absent. The inside of the study was filled with a mountainous library of outlandish books Kinzo had amassed. They were bizarre old books, unbanned in each and every one of them, forbidden, cursed, or sealed. Of course, it was actually, if one were to actually call them old books, Kinzo would fly into a rage and say something like this. Call them grimoires! Oh, he's a fucking weeb. He's a weeb for magic. There are candles which had melted in suspicious-looking fashion and taken on peculiar forms, and all manner of other strange objects, probably having something to do with black magic. Constellations covering the celestial globe caused anyone who knew the night sky well to raise an eyebrow. Illustrations inscribed in the old books, haphazardly left open, range from the religious and the mystical to the demonic and grotesque, as well as bizarre diagrams of various magic circles. Above all, the sweet poisonous smell that filled the room, which those entering the first time would surely be a profound assault on their sense of sight, smell, and all their other senses, making them lose their grip on reality. Inside that study, Genji, with his well-trained hand, prepared Kinzo's usual drink. If you hadn't known that the ghastly dark green liquid that filled the complexly designed bottle was liquor, you certainly wouldn't want to put it in your mouth. He poured a small quantity of the spirit into a glass, placed a cube of sugar in a strangely shaped spoon, and then poured the water from a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the colorless water was poured into it, the dark green liquid actually turned a cloudy white. It created a strange visual illusion, for the water had caused a chemical reaction, which made it all the more difficult to perceive the concoction as liquor. Liquor is already poison. He got Mountain Dew liquor. No, he's actually got absinthe. This is like a very classic way of preparing absinthe. This he added an original flavoring Kinzo liked and fine-tuned the taste. There was no recipe.
Really?
Yeah, this is absinthe. You would what you would do is you would pour out absinthe into a glass, and then a lot of places would have a specialized like drip machine for it, where you would put like a cube of sugar over like a small kind of mesh, and then drip water onto the ice cube. Not the ice cube, but the sugar cube. Excuse me. And you would drip like a small amounts of water onto the sugar cube, which would then kind of dissolve with the water dripping into the absinthe, and it, like an old form of absinthe would kind of turn it like more of like a cloudy white.
Yeah.
But these days, it mostly sticks with the green because it's one of its most distinct features.
I actually didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Actually, absinthe was illegal for quite a few years because it uses trace amounts of wormwood, which is like poison.
But alcohol is poison.
Well, sure, but this specifically used like an actual poison, and it was considered illegal because it was said to be an hallucinogen. But really, with the concentrations of wormwood and absinthe, you would need like a huge amount. You would need to drink like hundreds of glasses of absinthe to get any sort of hallucinatory effect from the wormwood within it. So it got unbanned pretty recently.
Yay!
Anyways, that's a little bit of absinthe trivia today.
Okay.
There was no recipe. Success was measured only by Kinzo's mood swings when he drank it, and he had learned how to make it only after many decades. Genji placed the glass on a tray and made his way over to Kinzo. Kinzo was now gazing out the window. As you asked, my lord. Thank you. Kinzo had regained his composure, so much so that he was now unrecognizable as the man who had been shouting, screaming, and yelling just moments before. The man's back dwelled a dignity and intelligence made plain by how he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window. Genji, in order to allow Kinzo to set down his glass at any time, motionlessly waited behind and to his left, as though he were a living sideboard. As he did, Kinzo stuck out just the glass, his gaze still directed at the world outside the window. There was just a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to be set upon the tray, as Genji expected, but was a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. Drink it, my friend. The best Thanksgiving episode of Bob's Burgers, to be specific. Huh. That is more than I deserve. No need for ceremony between us. Drink it, friend. Thank you. Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it a little to taste its contents. Then he downed it in one gulp.
Old man, yeah,
Yep. I attempted to imitate your concoction, but no matter how many times I try, I cannot replicate the taste. The way you make it is pure relish. He just pours a bunch of actual relish into the absinthe. Thank you very much. It is the fruit of your guidance, my lord. Kinzo smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. It was relaxed, like a smile at a close friend's unriddable bad habit. We've grown old, you and I. Eats absinthe with hot dogs. I forgot my age a long time ago. I was permitted to live the life I have until today, as in all thanks to you, my lord. Genzo gave a thin smile, as if to say he didn't need compliments. You have served me exceedingly well these years. My sons call me eccentric. The servants that were once many, all of them, retired in the growing fear of me. Only you, even now, serve me. It is more than I deserve. I doubt I have much time left to live. My sons are vultures, lazily waiting for my inheritance to fall into their hands. That fool Kraus squanders money like water, throws away 2 gold coins to obtain 1. With that, he deludes himself into saying he has earned money. Eva is a slave to money, thinking of me as a hen or whatnot. As if when I die, she'll even use my carcass to make broth. As if when I die, she'll even use my carcass to make broth. Okay. That dunce Rudolph just wants to fool around with women. He's crying. He's crying. This is the one that makes him cry. Not even wants to fool around with men. I'm so glad that wife of his has him in a chastity cage and begs him. Rosa bore the baby of a nobody. Jessica is incompetent and illiterate. Damn! George has none of what it takes to be a man. His dick is... George, dick's tiny.
George is fine.
No, he's not a man. Battler's a fool who threw away the honor of the Ushiromiya family. And Maria is obscene to the eye. Damn!
Damn! What the fuck?
Why is the Ushiromiya blood so incompetent? Look in the fucking mirror,
Bruh, it's your fault, I bet.
You raised the family. Like, it's like, why is my family so shit? My man, you made the family. Is there anyone worthy to inherit the glory I built? No one in this family has that bomb dick except for Rudolph, who uses it too much.
That's why he's crying.
No one in the Ushiromiya family has my big ass dick. My God. Of course, this is Beatrice's curse. This is Beatrice's curse. I know it.
Blame it on women again.
Witch. Why is it doing that? Golden Witch, is that supposed to be your revenge against me? Hate me if you wish. Run away if you wish. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. Won't let you go. Won't let you go. You are mine. You cannot be anywhere but in my arms. You are my entire life. Kinzo's wife in the grave, just like, yeah, I guess. You will continue to whisper for all eternity, my birdcage to me, only to me. This is very pathetic. Beatrice, why won't you give me back your smile? Oh, oh, Genji, oh! After howling, Kinzo choked once again. Genji set the tray and the glass down and patted his master's back. Genji's facial expression did not change. It was always like this. Thank you, my friend. As if his almost deranged outburst of the past few minutes settled down, Kinzo regained his composure once more. The way his attitude changed was like seeing 2 different people, a wild Kinzo and a composed Kinzo, living together inside one body.
The tears dried instantly. He sucked them back in.
He's like, sorry, I let my pathetic side out. It won't be happening again, bitch!
None of my daughters have a dunk so big you can see it from the front. Wrong. Oh. Ava does.
That's true. But also she's like really mean to people for no reason. His Morty, yes, his normal side and his Morty side.
I can't.
Oh, jeez, Genji. Oh, jeez, Beatrice. Oh, no, Genji. Beatrice is gone. She's mine, Genji. She's mine. 1,000 years, Genji. 1,000 years, Beatrice. Beatrice with me. Beatrice in my arms, Genji.
You make me sick.
And so, I was about to say, do you regret me playing Umineko yet?
Yes.
And so I have
it means
decided.
To end stream now.
I cannot spending the insipid remainder of my life procrastinating like this. If I have any final coins left to gamble, then I choose to abandon them all to the whims of the demon's roulette. Is he gonna shoot himself?
I hope.
Power of magic is always determined by the risk staked upon it. Like visiting a shrine at the hour of the ox in ancient Japanese sorcery to nail a cursed doll to a tree. The magic power dwells in incurring the risk that it will be seen before 7 days pass. The more dangerous the risk, the stronger the magic power will be. All the various miracles that appear in myth can be called crystals of astonishing magic power, obtained through miraculously low probabilities and astronomically risks. That Moses parted the sea was no miracle of God's. It was that utterly desperate risk, weighed upon the scales of oppression, as being cornered by soldiers in the Red Sea shores, which gave birth to miraculous magic power. Well, that's a hell of a statement. I thought it was a Beyblade. Even if the same thing occurs again on the same scope, the skill will no doubt not part. That's because Moses managed to spectacularly draw out the single miracle carved in the roulette of those in power. It has more pockets than Asugi and Nayuta multiplied together. Oh, that's a lot of tens. That's so many tens. You have to have a high IQ to enjoy Umineko. Oh my god. The power to triumph over astronomical odds. Yes, magic power is, in other words, the having the luck to grasp miracles. So being a powerful mage is all about being a fucking moron. I get it. To obtain great magical power, one must bear a risk that is hopelessly great. Those who possess no magic would call this not a bet, but pure desperation. However, those who truly do possess magical power and can grasp hold of that miracle, it makes the enigma come into being, Genji! He's ranting now. He's Morty Kinzo now. If that power exists within me, it exists, Morty. It exists, Genji. I will seize that miracle. I will be able to make the wish I devoted my life towards come true. Jeez. Kinzo looked up to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone up in the skies. If I were to have what it takes to obtain that miracle, oh, Beatrice, show me your lovely smile once more. No matter how much time passes, your face does not vanish. I just want to see you smile, that's all. Jeez. That's more zero than Google, yeah. I'll return everything you granted me, Beatrice. Beatrice, please. Oh man, oh jeez. I'll return all the glory I've gained since that day.
I think I have
brain damage.
Damage.
Fortune, prestige, gold. I'll return everything you granted me. I just want to see your smile, Beatrice. Oh, I beg of you, Beatrice. This is why it's important to have the sound on.
Yeah.
His nonsensical yells segued into a scream, and then into a wall. I thought it said into a wall. I'm like, that's the funniest sentence anyone's ever typed. Like, he just fucking, like, smashed himself into a wall. Kinzo crumpled on the floor and clawed at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lament. Neat.
Yay. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the head of the family is not in his best shape. He considers it a great shame that he will not be able to partake in lunch with you all, having assembled especially for this long-awaited yearly meeting. Quota, let the lunch begin. Certainly. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin today's luncheon. Dr. Nanjo, his father's condition that bad? Really could have at least showed his face. Rather than his physical condition, it's his mood. And for that, there's no medicine I can prescribe. Oh, for God's sake. Mood again? We come to hear how he's doing, making time in our schedule for this damn busy season of autumn. That's just... Then you got what you wanted, Rudolph. Managed to hear how he's doing. Or do you want to take my place and try to persuade our ill-humored father to come join us? Are you kidding? Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, even though Rudolph seemed to resent the way his father did whatever he pleased, he'd rather avoid seeing his face if he could help it. Does it seem like his mood will improve before dinner? I have no idea. You can try to ask father directly. Although I think his mood will improve faster if we don't bother him. The only ones who can bring grandfather's temper under control is Genji-san. Pretty damn pathetic when you have to have a servant deal with your own parents' bad mood. Yeah? Jessica, don't speak out of turn. She had planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it had reached even Krause's ears. Quoted Jessica scowled and turned away, sulking. This condition can't be that bad, can it? With that kind of temper? I mean, if they were saying he's not feeling well, that would be one thing, but if it's mood's that's bad, it's at least proof that he's got some fight in him. Grandfather does have especially strong willpower, but it doesn't mean that his bodies will always follow that. Since last year, they keep saying he has 3 months left. The initial diagnosis was correct. Grandfather's been prolonging his life by willpower alone. You have to be concerned for him. Lunch started with the family's head seat still empty. The man who should have been sitting there was already old, and the brilliant glory which he had rebuilt the Yushiromiya family in a single lifetime was slowly being forgotten. No one seemed to feel uncomfortable when the meal began with that seat still empty. Oh. I really love the glass shattering effect because it reminds me of like DMC Mission Select. Like Mission Complete. It's like really, it's like, I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha.
Door of summer, even though Rudolph just said it was autumn.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna grab a drink again real quick because I've been talking a lot. I will be right back.
Okay. Yay. What you guys up to? I'm dying. I think Morty Maxine killed me. Sorry, you got really choppy for me. What was that?
In the other room. You know, that's Freckley's fault.
Yeah, it is. Correctly, I'm banning you.
You know, maybe I'll ask him to tell me about that hot witch. That'll cheer him up. Beatrice! The Yushiromiya Family Conference was held once every year. It took place on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to use a pretentious name like Family Conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other surrounded by buckets of sushi. However, in the Yushiromiya family, where some siblings are lent great fortunes, and only those that achieve success in business are considered adults, it was literally a conference. How much of their fortune was invested? What kind of businesses was conducted? How much was earned? As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid? Or alternatively, how much would be borrowed for future business ventures? What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? It seems that topics like these have been discussed very seriously in the past. My dad called it a bed of nails. Apparently it used to be a very serious family meeting where one would commonly be showered with harsh and angry voices, and even get slapped in the face despite being well past the age for it.
Damn.
I really do like hearing that, like, Krause is, like, maybe, like, he sucks. He sucks so bad. Like, he's, like, a terrible businessman. And, like, but he's, like, he acts like his dick is so huge.
Just the instantaneous, like, you gotta know how bad this guy is.
Yeah. However, that was all a thing of the past. By now, everyone had achieved success in their own independent business ventures. And it was on the road to becoming a normal yearly get-together. Even so, being asked by grandfather about the current state of the play was an extremely stress-inducing event. And while to us grandchildren it was nothing more than a simple meeting, to our parents it was still a real stomachache. The absence of the man responsible for all this, whatever the reason behind it, must surely have made today's lunch even more delicious. Phrase, when the cat is away, the mice will play, comes to mind. Well then, let me introduce Jessica's father, whose face I hadn't seen for 6 years. The man sitting to my dad's left is his older brother and father of Jessica, Uncle... Krause. The name sure is easy to read. Krause. After so many weird names, it warps your sense of what's normal, and you start to think, hey, what's wrong with Krause? He sounds pretty cool, actually. No. Just like in Nazi, I don't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Krause. Never been one to talk to children. I felt like he was always talking to the adults, just like Aunt Nazi. The way our dad talked about him, it seemed like he used to be a pretty spiteful and unreasonable person. What Dad said's true, he used to be very domineering as the oldest sibling. He was hated by Auntie Ava, Aunt Rosa, and the rest of the family.
To
Odd, considering
everyone.
they're all having fun chatting together. Well, I guess if their relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes people grow up and so go their separate ways. Their relationship changes. Yeah, people swallow their pride and he becomes worse.
Yep.
That's probably what this is. After all, they have children about the same age. Since they share similar family environments, they probably all profit by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, the parent circle's been deep in conversation for a while now about the exams Jessica and I are going to be taking. Jessica, in order to escape the discussion of exams with the old bastard sitting to her left, was purposely facing to the right, firing off topic after topic since it did not give him an opening. Moving on, let's look at the end opposite from Uncle Krause and the others. The very last seat on the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique sat facing Kyrie-san. This was my first time meeting him. I'd only just been introduced to him, but it seems that he's grandfather's personal doctor, a man named called Nancho. Apparently he used to own a huge clinic on the nearby Nijima Island, but he turned it over to his son and began living a quiet life of leisure in his old age. He's known grandfather since the very beginning, when the mansion was first constructed on the island, and they have a history going back several decades. I thought he might be grandfather's companion in his suspicious hobbies, but surprisingly it seems that he's grandfather's chess partner. I see, that kind of hobby does seem very like our grandfather with his love of Western style. He'd probably also call him the only person able to enter Rokunshima who is neither a family member nor a servant. From listening to his conversation with the woman folks seated near him, he gave the impression of a calm old gentleman. Considering he's managed to put up with our short-tempered grandfather for so long, I'm sure his big heart is nothing to laugh at. I think every age is past the age for that. Yeah, fair. Still, even if he is his doctor, someone from outside the Yoshiromiya family attending the family conference is a little odd. From that fact, I imagine grandfather's condition has grown much worse. They may even be one of the major topics of discussion at the family conference. George Hanaki was just saying it too. For the past year, grandfather's been continually pronounced as having very little time left to live. Awful to talk about, but grandfather is an extremely rich man. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released, along with our parents' stomach acid, surely leading to some serious ulcers. For that kind of thing, the greater the number of the wave must be split, the more troubles it will cause splitting it. This kind of talk would probably also be included in the family conference. Oh well, it's not like it has anything to do with us children. Finally, even though he's absent, let me introduce our grandfather. This person who should be sitting in the seat of honor is Ushiromiya Kinzo. It really sucks. He gave everyone else in the family these weird names, but he himself uses one which is conservative as all hell. Only his name was written with the same characters for Gold and Vault, but he let us call him Goldsmith or something. That'd be totally awesome. Badler, shut the fuck up.
What's wrong with you?
As you can probably gather from all the talk about him, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. Because I'm just his grandkid, I haven't met him since I was in elementary school 6 years ago. I don't remember ever having been beaten by him, but it seems that our parents were raised with an iron fist. That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Krause about who should we go to try to convince grandfather to come out seems oddly funny if you take this into account. In order to tell grandfather's story, you have to take yourself all the way back to before the Showa era, 1926 to 1989, to recount the whole of the Ushiromiya family. To recount the tale of the Ushiromiya family. Under the Meiji and Taisho eras, the Ushiromiya family was great and prosperous. They owned several spinning mills, and were very wealthy people who merely had to fall about laughing when the money rolled in. Incidentally, grandfather, as a member of Branch family, originally had nothing to do with the main family. Distantly separated from the head's inheritance, he apparently had very little involvement with the head house. However, during the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923, the mansion owned by the Ushiromiya family main house in Odawara was flattened. The spinning mills in Tokyo were all burned down in a huge fire, and the Ushiromiya family lost most of its wealth and its family members in an instant. It became a matter of who would become the heir of the main family. As it turns out, no one left except for Kinzo, who was far removed from the main family line as they come. Kinzo himself later said that it was such good luck that it was as though fate itself had been turned upside down. With that, grandfather's ordinary life did a 180. He was entrusted with reviving the wealth of the dying Ushiromiya family had almost completely lost. Of course, just because you suddenly dump a task on someone doesn't mean that they can do squat to accomplish it. I doubt the people around him were expecting much. But this is where grandfather began to display his extraordinary talent and good luck. Grandfather used all the family funds and everything from the hair on his head to his toenails as collateral to borrow a massive amount of money, created a gigantic supply of funds, and immediately started a business. It's like tumbling down a hill on a bike without any brakes, then jumping onto a neighboring bike, and then another one. Just like some crazy street performance. Probably anyone would have thought grandfather had no business ability. But with an unbelievable amount of good luck and miracles, with coincidences piling up and every chance taken advantage of, before anyone knew it, he had forged powerful connections with the Allied forces. At the time, MacArthur and the GHQ were in charge of Japan. Grandfather, in a twinkle of the eye, began succeeding in business under the protection of the occupying forces, quickly becoming very rich. At this point, it was no longer luck but information that won the day. He must have made some seriously thick connections with the occupying forces. Grandfather knew about the emergency demands that would be made for the Korean War before they happened. No, more than that, he must have foreseen these special procurements and started penetrating those markets from the very beginning. History textbooks say that all of Japan made a large profit off the emergency demands for the Korean War. That wasn't the case in reality. Only a very limited number of the super rich played the money game and made an easy profit. Most of the citizens remained poor. In other words, Grandfather was an extremely lucky member of this group of winners. This all happened during the year Showa 25, or 1950, I think? And since the year of the Great Kanto Earthquake was Taisho 12, or 1923, that means Grandfather was able to revive the near-dead Yushiromiya family to a level even higher than it had been before, in the span of only 20 to 30 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. With that, you'd think he would revive the main family of Odawara. But for some reason, he went and did something as crazy as buying an entire small island in the Izu archipelago. Buying an entire island is not something that you can ordinarily do today. However, Grandfather was clever. He contracted with the GHQ and applied for the establishment of a marine resource base. He acquired this island as a business property and then reneged on it and claimed it as his own plot of land. After the war, there was prevention measures against food shortages, and furthermore, he had the sponsorship of the GHQ, which meant no one could oppose him. It seemed that Tokyo provided the land for next to no money at the time. Tokyo later made repeated complaints for the land to be returned. Not much could be done due to the involvement of the GHQ, even though they had been pushed into it. No doubt he had bribed everyone there was to bribe. In the end, the city gave up in frustration. Grandfather, with considerable skill and blessed good luck, had managed to weather the stormy sea of that period, obtaining a vast fortune in his own island. Of course, it wasn't all luck. He skilled with English, and that was cultivated by his Western obsession. It was by using that as a weapon that he was able to make inroads into the GHQ. The mansion was immediately built on the island. That would be this mansion. Grandfather, who had always loved the West, made this once uninhabited island, Rokenjima, a canvas upon which he could realize his dreams to his heart's content. Watched the mansion he had always imagined, overflowing with emotion, the beautiful garden where various roses had been planted, and a private beach where no one other than himself would ever be permitted to leave a footprint. To have this much would be every man's dream. After that, making good use of his huge fortune, he became a large stockholder in an extremely stable iron and steel industry and was able to live an easy and comfortable life just using the dividends. No, it's just that incredible. This kind of person normally gets portrayed after the fact as having the ability to foresee and predict the future or something. Grandfather denies all of that, repeatedly saying that it was simply blessed with extraordinary luck. Anyways, even to a lord like that, with all of his dreams made real, can't help but grow increasingly odd when locked up alone on an island. Everyone knows he's been obsessed with the West for a very long time, but none of our parents really knows when his bizarre black magic hobby began. Perhaps his love of black magic began way back when he became fascinated with the West, or possibly his miraculous stretch of good luck, which allowed him to revive the family, causing him to feel a mysterious power in himself. At some point, Grandfather began to make research of black magic his life's work, filling his study with suspicious books, chemicals, and magical items that he became increasingly bizarre. These being the few remaining years of a person successful in his life, those around him warmly watched over him, feeling the time was his to spend as he pleased. Or so I hear, but no way in hell that's true. They probably were just driven away thinking, that's disturbing, I don't want to get involved. Now, that war-torn period was a time for big gambles, with both opportunities and risks. I'd like to see Grandfather do so well if he had been born in this time period. Would have had no opportunities, and probably would have advanced like a chess piece from mandatory education to college at a leisurely pace, never becoming more than an average company employee. If that had happened, he'd probably be sitting here with the rest of us, regaling us with tales of his shitty boss. No, not here. The dining hall of a mansion. We might have been around the table at some bar. If that were the case, I'm sure this would have been a more comfortable family conference. Yeah, Badler's got a point. Alright, that's enough talk about the old geezer who won't pop off. Damn. More importantly, let's talk about this incredible lunch.
Yeah.
I was already sold by the sashimi salad. Koda-san is one hell of a chef. Plus, these fish were caught in the oceans near here, weren't they? The sashimi you got at the supermarket don't even come close. Hey, quit it, Badler. Your upbringing will be exposed. Everyone let out a big laugh. Damn it, you say that even though you love those cheap pubs. It's the vibes. He's just obsessed with say that's where black magic comes from. My job occasionally leads me to eat some quite interesting places, but even compared to those, this is an excellent dish. I imagine you could have become reasonably well known in that field, Goda-san. He wants a salmon lancer, Kuz, says Bando. Incredible. No, he's clearly... Did you not hear him going off about witches? He's clearly a Medea simp. Don't know much about it, but at the famous hotel where he used to work, employee politics got pretty complicated and everyone split into factions. In the middle of all that, he was apparently forced to retire. It just so happened that Mom had job offers for a servant at the same time. Let's go to cleared away his empty plates, began to recount his own eventful past, never losing a smile. The world is a difficult place. However, it is thanks to this that I was given a chance to display my skills as a chef once again, this time for the Ushiromie family. As though I also enjoy the smiles of the larger number of people, it is also extremely entertaining to be able to perform delicate work in order to please the limited number of people that I pledged to serve. All of this is thanks to the opportunity given to me by Madame. Goda-san respectively bowed his head towards Aunt Natsuhi. This is because among all the applicants, you were the most talented. The decision was not based on personal feeling, but purely objective, so there's no need to thank me. Oh man, why does Aunt Natsuhi always have to speak so frankly? When she spoke more gently, she might get off a different impression. Shanan-chan and Kumasawa-san entered the hallway with a serving cart. Please excuse us. Now then, let's move on to today's dessert. Goda-san and the others laid out the beautifully adorned dessert. Guess it's true what they say when you have another stomach for desserts. I thought that being fed all the delicious food had totally filled me up, but as soon as I laid eyes on the dessert, my stomach started yelling more. I don't know much about desserts, but this looked really good. White pudding-like substance was garnished with 2 shades of red sauce. An elegant rose petals adorned the dish. When you dine on such magnificent food as this, first it is distributed in front of everyone, and then the chef takes a moment to extol the virtues of his creation. Until he is finished, as a rule, you don't touch the food. However, Maria, who had no experience with these ceremonious rules, got excited by this beautiful and delicious-looking dessert and jumped into the fray as soon as it was placed before her. Auntie Rosa scolded her, calling it bad manners, but George responded by saying, No, it's alright. This one's sour. This one's sour. In fact, the wrong one is this one. Maria exclaimed as she sampled the 2 colored sauces. What, there's a right one and a wrong one? Alright, I'll give it a go. Apparently the 2 sauces were one sweet, one sour. Despite it being bad manners, I also stuck my little finger in and licked it.
Wow.
Well, one of them was sour enough to make you pucker up. If it was yellow, I suspected lemons, but I couldn't guess what kind of sourness would be red. I decided to ask Shannon, who was putting away the serving cart behind us. Shannon-chan, what kind of sauce is the sour stuff?
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, I don't know shit. Shannon-chan hesitated to speak. Maybe she's just setting the table and doesn't really know. She's hesitating a bit much for that, though. Did I have something wrong? Did they use something we'd be better off not knowing about? Once Natsuhi asked if she had a headache. Kumasawa-san, who was sitting the other side of the table, were going to laugh a little. Ho ho ho! Hey, Video Tree, how we doing? What do you think we made it out of?
Hey, Video Tree.
It'll shock you. I don't have a clue. And Kumasawa Bachan, that laugh creeps me the hell out. So what is it? Don't tell anyone, alright? Let me borrow your ears. Kumasawa-san leaned across the other side of the table. She'd asked to borrow my ears, so I leaned forward too. Their interest caught Jessica, George, Aniki, and of course Maria also put their ears closer. What? Tell me! Tell me! The sour part is, well... Actually, it's squeezed juice from a mackerel. Ho ho ho! Mackerel? Don't be ridiculous, we all thought, horrified. Only Maria accepting it, nodding with an uh-huh. Mackerels are sour. You squeeze them, this comes out. I love how like the whole table is laughing. Maria started clamoring that the mackerels were sour. The adults were unable to contain their laughter. You got it wrong. That's vinegared mackerel. Auntie Rosa said to Maria in a small voice while turning red. Ah, now I remember it perfectly. Kumasawa-san was always this kind of character, wasn't she? I think I remember her tricking me all the time about things when I was young as well. Amongst all of them, the most painful one must have been that one. Flimsy black stuff you get in Chinese food. Kikurage mushrooms. He told me it was penguin meat. I went around all around school like a smartass telling everyone, didn't I? Kumasawa-bachan, you sure haven't changed, he says, still mad. You know Maria's gonna believe now, right? It's just a joke. Goda-san will surely tell you what the sauce is in a moment. Goda-san just a little put out from having his masterpiece laughed at in such a strange way, but after clearing his throat once, he introduced the dessert to us. Well then, allow me to describe tonight's dessert. Based on the rose garden that everyone seemed to enjoy so much today, I finished this panna cotta in a rose garden style. The rose petals scattered across was selected just now from that rose garden. For the sauces, I prepared 2 different reds for you, strawberry and rosehip. Please enjoy the strawberry sweetness and the rosehip sourness in turn. Finally, the rose petals are merely decoration, so please set them aside before eating. With that said, please enjoy. Man, I almost want to applaud before I've even eaten it. It's like when you take medicine, you know, that seems to work better when you've read the instructions. Thanks to Goda-san elaborating on the details of the dessert, I feel like he's knocked it up another notch. Seriously, you should call him ridiculous or just talented. The dessert was probably planned from the beginning, but he took a cue from our stopping in front of the rose garden today, and displayed an incredibly timely awareness of the season by adding just a few rose petals from the garden. The combination of sweet and sour was also exquisite. If it was just sweet, you get used to it and become bored halfway through. By bringing in the sour sauce at that point, you get a really vivid taste. And then, once you return to the sweet sauce, all the sourness in your mouth is replaced by an enjoyable sweetness again. I'm sure everyone else felt the same way. Every time Goda-san passed by one of the seats, someone praised the taste in his creation. How is it, madam? Splendid as always. It is a worthy treat for our guest. I am most grateful for your words. I'm still thinking about how he fucked over Shannon. Fucking asshole.
Yep. This guy.
Stupid double chin motherfucker.
He sucks.
Your chin looks like your fucking bow tie, dipshit. Why you got 3 layers of double? You got the collar, you got the fucking bow tie, and you got your stupid fucking chin. You look stupid. Madam, did you know? I have heard that the rosehip has the ability to cure headaches. I thought that you especially would appreciate it, so I had it specially prepared. Is that so? Really wish you hadn't fucking reminded me while I was enjoying dessert. Thanks. See, didn't I tell you, Natsuhime-san? Rosehip works on headaches. So it seems. I can only hope it has some effect. Goda-san, I love you. Hey, later, whisper to me how much compensation you're getting for this, won't you? Peddler absolutely has eaten suppository. Absolutely he has. If you're sworn to silence, you can stick up some figures instead, so let me know your price. Having your child monopolized for this small island is sacrilege to humanity's cooking culture. Wouldn't you really be willing to display your talents to all the customers of my company? Hideyoshi-san. Are you trying to recruit our Goda? How troubling. We better make some improvements to his salary, or he'll get snatched away. Yes, you really should. If you don't, he'll be lured away, and you won't be stuck with 3 deals with me of Kumasawa-san's mackerel cooking, won't you? Ooh, that is indeed harsh. It seems someone's holding a grudge. Everyone let out a huge laugh. According to Jessica, Kumasawa-san's mackerel jokes were a type of running gag. Her parents had long since gotten used to it. Kumasawa-san had often claimed the mackerel contained precious nutrients that could do all sorts of things, such as prevent aging and make people smarter. Seeing that while she couldn't stop the outward sides of aging, it helped prevent aging on the inside. Since she was still healthy enough to tell these kind of jokes at her age, that benefit must be the real thing. Well then, if you'll excuse me, prepare yourself for tonight's dinner. I'll be cooking plenty of mackerel dishes for you to eat, so look forward to it. We sure will. I want to treat myself to some vinegared mackerel tonight. That sounds wonderful. I wonder if any delicious Japanese sake will be included. Oh, it certainly will. How about some of our famous Rokkenjima mackerel liquor? Boy, I bet
the mackerel jokes.
I'm really glad that everyone's like, wow, these are so funny, because I'm like, these are jokes?
Yep.
Kumasawa-san, together with Shannon-chan, bowed and pushed the serving cart away. Amusingly, Goda-san, who looked as though his stock had been stolen from him, signed very seriously that tonight's dinner would actually be calf steak. Deal? Thank you for doing that back there. As she pushed the serving cart, Shannon bowed her head very deeply. Oh, hey, thank you for the raid, Liger. How are we doing tonight?
Hey, Liger.
I haven't done anything that requires thanks. Kumasawa played dumb, but it was no accident she had thrown Shannon a lifeline. Mackerel jokes were the rage back then, as was the style back in the day. Mall motherfuckers playing Seagulls. I am playing Seagulls. I'm very much enjoying Seagulls so far, but I am waiting for the murders to start. What'd you guys get up to? Back when Badler had asked for the details of the dessert, Shannon had unfortunately hesitated. There may have been several ways to touch the question, but all of them should have been delivered deftly. Shannon, who hesitated when hard-pressed for a response, was always suffering because of this small weakness. If only Shannon, like Goda, had a little bit of the craftiness needed to skillfully shake off a mistake, her days would be a little more comfortable. This weakness was especially unfortunate, considering how flawlessly she could handle her work. Of course, there were those who well understood Shannon's meek nature and her inability to remember to gloss over her mistakes. Which is why Kumasawa-san came to her aid without hesitation. I just heard from Genji-san that there's been a change to the afternoon shifts. I believe you were given a break until this evening. D&D almost made an irreversible deal with an incarnate of hatred. Well, you know, I mean, it happens.
Okay.
As one does. Oh. Ho ho ho, I am jealous. Sorry, I hadn't checked the list of shifts yet. Ah, yes. I was just thinking we might start cooking some mackerel in the oven. If you don't mind, I would be happy if you helped out a bit before your break. Ah, yes. I would be delighted to help. Shannon, Kumasawa-san was like a mother among the servants.
Cute.
Yeah. Dining hall needed to clean it up, so we were chased out. Instead, tea would be served in the parlor. Since they would be preparing the black tea that Auntie Rosa had brought for Aunt Natsuki. Maria insisted that she also wanted to drink the black tea, but was rejected by the old bastard, who told her and the rest of the kids to go play outside. Why don't we all go for a walk outside? Go look at the roses or something. But keep a close eye on the weather. The sky's still clear, but the weather reports keep talking about rain. Ooh, I want the beach. I want the beach. Ah, isn't that a wonderful idea? Playing on a sandy beach isn't something that you get to do often, is it? Why would seagulls murder people? Because they're hateful little bastards. And they'd be able to take your food after.
Seriously, have you never met a seagull?
Isn't something that you get to do often, is it? Guess not. Alright, let's all go to the sandy beach then. As opposed to the rocky beach. I don't know why I said that like that's not a thing that exists. Maria, be careful not to get your clothes wet. Your shoes too. Won't get wet. So be cute. Badler-kun, make sure you keep an eye out for Maria-chan, okay? Sure thing. Leave it to me. Oh, you're pretty cute and obedient too. Kyrie asked you to do something, huh? Why don't you try listen to me obediently for a change? Who wears shoes on the beach? Don't worry about it. Hell no! Let's go, everyone. Come on. Rocky beaches do exist. They suck. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't know why I said it like it wasn't something that like is real. It could very well exist on this island. Children flew out of the parlor. It was replaced by Genji, who pushed the serving cart and prepared the black tea. The parlor was filled with a sublime aroma, which entertained everyone while they waited to appease their thirst. Rudolph, you and your family all seem to get along so well with each other. Good for you. This man is like oozing evil. You know what his face reminds me of?
What?
His face reminds me of Charlie Kirk's face. That one like dipshit dude who like is like a presenter or something for like Turning Point America or whatever, or Turning Point USA. It's just that his face seems like a little bit small for his head.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I want an edit of like I want an edit of Strauss's face, where his face is like just like a little bit smaller, like it's sized down like 20%. Just the face.
Okay.
Good for you. Oh, please, you have us beat on that front. So true, bestie.
It's sweet and pea.
Like red, white with normal hair.
Jessica-chan,
it's really grown into an innocent little thing, hasn't she? Not sure I like how she's saying that. It's all the truth of your. Oh, okay. This is just her being like, what if I talk shit about Natsuhi? Thank you. Natsuhi answered coldly. With that, the conversation halted, and Harley became silent. Possibly because he couldn't stand anymore. Hideyoshi broke the silence while performing an exaggerated gesture. Ooh. Still, they sure do grow fast. I thought they'd be kids forever, but they've been getting huge right before my eyes. Before I knew it, they joined the ranks of us adults. Badler-kun, for one, is beyond recognition. His body's gotten much bigger, but he is still a child. My husband is still a child as well. I wonder where the border between child and adult is. I still don't feel as though I've grown up. Isn't that pitiful? Damn, Krause. That's not something a mother of a child should say. That's right. We're not children anymore. We are all adults, so I would like it if we could all hold an intellectual discussion without becoming emotional. When Eva smiled with her sharp sarcasm, everything seemed to get more tense. Felt like the smell of the tea had been prepared so carefully just flew out the window. We have always strived to herald intellectual discussions. Your sarcasm is ill-placed sometimes. You've never changed in that respect. Always strived, is that it? My. I wish I could wrap those words up and send them through this room a few decades ago. Right, Rosa? Rosa smiled with a vague expression. Whether she agreed or disagreed, she knew she would earn the displeasure of either her brother or her sister. A bit of worldly wisdom she needed to learn as the youngest sibling. Quit it, Aniki. We should enter the main topic while the brats are around, right? Let's make that our intellectual discussion. As Rudolph glanced over at the faces of all present, some let out a slight sigh, and some let out a look of resignation across their face. This was the unavoidable true agenda. Oh shit!
Let's go!
We're going to kill our dad! Last year, his life expectancy was estimated at about 3 months, which means he's already at -9. The Grim Reaper could come flying through the window in a blind panic at any moment. Family head is still in good health. Raising such an inappropriate topic while the sun is still bright. I must question whether you are in your right mind, Rudolph-san. Still, Natsuhi-san. We don't discuss this until something's happened, it'll be too late. He's still healthy now, so we gotta figure out something while we still have some time left over. It's kind of a financial etiquette. It seems as though everyone is concerned about Father. Dr. Nancho, could we hear the details from you? It seems as though they are also hoping for that. Nanjo, standing by the window and staring at the rose garden, let out a single cough when he realized that he was being called. Dr. Nanjo, how is Father's condition? Well, first, my estimate last year that he only had 3 months to live still appears to be making its presence felt. So allow me to start by correcting you. No need to explain. You're the one saying that measuring on remaining life is only a prediction, not a promise, right? That is correct. Because of that, I can offer no definitive answer to the question you also often ask me, of when he will pass away. A human life is supported by their body and their mind. If the body is weak, then the situation becomes more dangerous, but if the mind is strong enough to compensate for that weakness, it is possible to maintain a state of remission. So what you're saying is that even if his body is weak, his mind is still firm and spirited. Kirie, sorry, but please stay quiet for a while. Damn! He's like, sorry, hey, sorry, babe. You don't know what the fuck
locking in.
Yeah, like, babe, I'm sorry, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Please, let me handle this. Sorry. That is correct. Kinzo-san's body has been ravaged by disease. With him continuing to drink that kind of strong liquor on top of that, I really must think. So booze is the reason he's teetering on the edge. And booze is also the reason he's hanging on. Sounds like Dad, the heavy drinker. Well then, Doctor, I know you can't give him anything more than a prediction. What do you think about Father's chances of living until this day next year? That is quite the rude question to ask about the head. That is a crazy sprite. Look, what a damn.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy in here all of a sudden. Natsuhi jumped on Eva, unable to hide her astonished expression. In response, Eva returned with returned a defiant look, but Hideyoshi noticed and tried to smooth things over with a forced smile. Natsui-san, forgive her. Eva, try and choose your words a bit more carefully, okay? Sorry. I was just so concerned over father's condition. Giggle. Is that so? I hadn't realized. Dr. Nanjo, please tell us. For the sake of the beautiful family love of a daughter worried about her father's lifespan, Klaus laughed sarcastically. For some reason, Klaus made me fucked up laughed. And Ava, smiling sweetly, returned an identical chuckle. You ask whether he will still be healthy next year, but it is a very difficult question for me as a doctor. While I do not think this remission will last a while yet, if he suffers some kind of fit, there may be nothing we can do. After all, Rokunjima is a solitary island. It is not as though an ambulance could come rushing in to save him. Normally, I would want him to have him hospitalized in a large hospital in the mainland, but Father stated that he does not want his noble research interrupted. It seems he holds a grudge over the way we tried to force him out last year. Apparently, he strongly suspects that he will be shut away in some hospital if he goes outside. And that's how things are now. Has Dr. Nanjo been examining him? Father trusts Dr. Nanjo. It seems he can be examined when in a good mood. I can examine his condition, but if I try to recommend medicine or hospitalization, he refuses to listen. I've really only been able to look. It's true that there are people who hate doctors. Still, what a hassle. Nanjo sighed deeply. The purpose of an examination was to determine what medical treatment was appropriate. Receiving an examination and then not following the advice given makes the whole thing pointless. And in summary, his expected life is still 3 months, and there's no way to guess how long he will continue to live while on the verge of death. Couldn't you be more discreet with your words? No, sorry. Always talk this way. Cut me a break. I understand Dr. Nanjo's opinion. What do you think, Kraus-Nissan? To be perfectly honest, I have to disagree with Dr. Nanjo. I find it truly difficult to think a father is a person so sick that he only has 3 months to live. His yells as healthy as ever, and I still get the chills at the thought of his fist raining down on me. You know, when you're saying shit like somebody who's been terribly abused while also having this smug, evil fucking face, I'm like, I do, like, this is like filling me with like a weird emotion, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I remember my father used to beat the shit out of me. It sucked. I'm still fearful of it to this day. And meanwhile, he's looking like an evil businessman about to close down the community center. Pushing the task of caring for Dad solely on the shoulders of the eldest son is far from fair. In the next world, be born after me. Alright, thanks for this test. Let's return to our discussion. In that case, according to the impartial and neutral doctor's opinion, it wouldn't be odd for him to go any time. Sorry, Aniki, I'd rather trust the opinion of a specialist. With that, I believe the discussion of Dad's fortune is no longer a premature topic. Father's personal funds probably reach into the tens of billions of yen, right? But it's not as though all of that is neatly gathered into ready cash. It's not as simple as neatly cutting a birthday cake with a knife. Interesting metaphor, Aniki. That's right. Aneki. That's right. Sometimes strawberries or chocolate are placed on top of the cake, making it hard to cleanly divide it in equal parts. That translates into literally dozens of dollars. Wow, that's like $3 whole. Tens of billions of yen. Oh, man. Taking that into consideration, I think it's important to first discuss how to best stick the knife in, don't you? Jesus, Rudolph. I truly don't understand you all. Even while the head is still alive, you're discussing the matter of loud voices as though he were already dead. Come now, don't you see how important this is? Hey, Thomas, how are we doing? After all, when the time comes, the inheritance of the family fortune must be carried out immediately, right? I mean, listen, I understand where Nazi's coming from, but, like, Ava's actually right in the situation. You do want to get this shit hammered out beforehand.
Yeah, this is like a lot.
Yeah. I've kind of mentioned it offhand a couple of times here and there, but like after my grandfather passed away a couple of years back, or like hell, it's almost been 5 years now.
Crazy.
Yeah, time really goes. Like there was like a big dispute. Like we had like an idea of what we wanted to do with like the inheritance because like we knew how the will was going to be split up. But like we ended up getting into like a big like legal battle with our uncle over like a dispute because he felt like he had been left out of the wills just somewhat. And based on how he was treating our family, we were planning like coming to like some sort of settlement with him, but then he like started treating like our side of the family really bad. And like if you don't have a plan in place, if you don't have like a solid like this is how it's going to go and this is the game plan like right off the bat, like that shit devolves incredibly quickly. Hey Jack, how we doing? Yep, crazy how time flies.
Oh, hi.
I understand where Nazi's coming from. Oh man. Just popping out of the radio silence to know that I've purchased the Elden Ring DLC after 80 hours. I will now return to lurking. That's a good DLC. It's really good. That is whatever you do, don't get into your head that like, oh, summoning is for people who are bad. No, it is a game mechanic. The developers want you to use it. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Have fun returning to your lurk. This is why you write a very thorough will, exactly. Mimic Tier does go hard. It goes incredibly hard. Anyways, come now, don't you see how important this must be? After all, when the time comes, the inheritance of his fortune must be carried out immediately, right? Moreover, the wealth of the glorious Ushiro Miya family is vast. Don't you understand that a careful discussion is necessary beforehand? There's a huge difference between the assets of this family and your old one. It's fucking rude. How rude? Oh, she's... Damn. This is toxic Yuri.
Isn't even Yuri anymore. They fucking hate each other.
Yeah, but like it's like really toxic Yuri.
Oh god, okay.
How rude. The family I was born into has nothing to do with this. As Natsuhi resentfully responded in a low voice, the already dark atmosphere grew even more hostile. Give it a rest, Eva. Natsuhi-san, forgive us. Pardon her rudeness. Hideyoshi tried to smooth things over by glancing at both with a forced smile, but it only resulted in making the hostility between Eva and Natsuhi more intense. It seems that I will be just in the way if I stay any longer. I do not blame Natsujo one bit. I would get the fuck out of here. Please excuse me. Nanjo rose from his seat and exited the parlor. This may have well been a normal act of courtesy expected of an outsider, but even so, his back was watched by several glances of envious of his ability to escape. Everyone's like, God, like, definitely like 2 or 3 people in this room are just like, God, I wish that were me.
Yep.
After the doctor had exited and his footsteps had disappeared into the distance, Krauser recrossed his legs. So let me see if I understand your point of view correctly. Father's remaining life is short. You want to quickly enter into a practical conference concerning the distribution of the inheritance. Why are you so eager, I wonder? Certainly, as you say, estimating and distributing the Ushiro Miya family's wealth is no simple task. In that case, shouldn't we carefully and deliberately calculate? It seems to me that you all are impatient to split up the cake tonight. That's true, isn't it, Rosa? Is that something really making you so impatient? It's not that we're impatient, but a decision between the siblings is still essential. It doesn't matter when, but if Father's condition is worsening and the day is drawing near, discussing the matter beforehand isn't what I would call impatience.
Such a dick picking on Rosa, knowing that he's the oldest and she's the youngest.
Yeah, that's crazy. Rosa sneaked a glance at Ava and Rudolph. As the youngest daughter in the family, being cross-examined by the eldest was harsh. Ooh, is that your true opinion? I didn't expect that the most honest and pure-hearted of the siblings would say something like that. I wonder if those two have told you to say that. Damn. Quit it, Aniki. Rosa's a sibling just like the rest of us. She has a fair right to Dad's inheritance. It's obvious she would be interested, right? After all, Dad will definitely die, and that's not something that will happen in the distant future. On the contrary, Aniki, you are far too relaxed. It would seem almost as though you would like nothing better than to turn the discussion away from the distribution of the inheritance. What do you mean by that? Are you trying to accuse my husband of something? Calm down, Natsuki-san. Listen to what we have to say. Good job, Hideyoshi. Tell the woman to calm down. I'm sure it's going to end very well for you.
You always do that to me.
I'm not saying I'm any better than Hideyoshi.
Yeah, you're right, because it never ends up right.
No, it doesn't. Nissan, I think these are very good times nowadays. That's right, since last year, the yen has been going up and up thanks to the unprecedented boom in prosperity. When does this game take place again?
Efragor. I think the
It seems
80s.
Ah, I see. Oh god, and they're in the bubble economy, holy shit. It seems as though it's no longer a dream that the dollar will reach 100 yen. Oh, man. Also, the ruling party says that
the
it
80s.
the ruling party says it is in the middle of the bubble economy. Holy shit. The ruling party says that it will establish a health resort maintenance law by next year. At this moment, resort development companies across Japan are running about trying to gather as much capital as they can. You know your stuff. Soon Japan will see an unprecedented boom. Just like when Father revived the Ushiromiya family, another case of the Korean War demands. People of Japan have worked at a frenzied pace, realized vast economic growth, and become the most prosperous people in the world. They are enjoying the height of their prosperity. Private spending has increased, and institutions can profit from that, make easy money in this era. The people's needs are no longer merely the essential 3 electrical appliances. Places to ski, to golf, public pools, resort hotels, and theme parks. Have you gone to Disneyland, which opened just a few years ago? What an excellent theme park it is. In this place, even an adult can be a kid and have fun with his family. Now I'm imagining Krause with, like, big Mickey Mouse ears, like, holding onto an ice cream and on a roller coaster, but he still has that exact same expression on his face.
I imagine it, but also Natsuhi is there, except she has a fucking pounding headache.
Yeah.
She's also got Minnie Mouse ears on.
he's just sitting on like a roller coaster, like going downhill, like his expression like this, like with the mouse ears on, going, "Ooh, Subarashi." Looks like the yen crossed 100 years USD in 1994. Yeah, listen, they're talking about like economic upturns in the bubble period. Like that's not necessarily going to happen. The old era, where the only virtue was to selflessly devote yourself to your country while failing to consider your family, is ending. Now, as the most prosperous people in the world, we can finally accept that. Kraus Nissan, your first sight's something else. When I heard this several years ago, I thought it was ridiculous. But see, when I heard about the G5 Nations Plaza Accord, that changed. The yen's getting stronger and stronger, and the price of land will skyrocket soon, I bet. The day Japan's become the economic center of the world isn't far off. But a very forward-looking view. There's no mistake in that, at least. G5, not G8. Yeah. Sorry. I feel the same as Hideyoshi Nissan. Aniki, you can read into the next decade of history. That keen sense surely came from Dad. Sorry, Selman. Time to die. Just a bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think back in the 80s it was the G5 summit. I think like several members got added after the fact, turning it into the G8 summit. I don't know enough about the summit to actually like know about like if that's like 100% true, or like when that happened, or like when the additional member states were added. But like that does sound pretty familiar to my ears at the very least. It's incredible. However, unlike Dad, there have been cases where the timing of your predictions have been mistaken, haven't there? Nissan, believing that Japan will definitely face an economic boom, you have been launching resort projects everywhere, and almost all of them continue to fail. You suck. This guy's oh my god, he's Trump. He's the only guy who can make a casino fail. He's a real estate developer that sucks at his job. Holy shit. He's even like an heir to like a real estate oh my god. Well, I'm sure the area you predicted is arriving. It seems that you misread the timing of that boom. You were too early. Then you hurriedly tried to sell off everything, and as a result, opened the wound even further. If your nose is really so reliable and you predict the coming of a boom, there should be no reason for you to sell off your property. Isn't this proof that you don't trust your own ability?
Damn.
How rude.
Damn.
She says her defeat, the wind of defeat blowing through her hair.
How rude is like her only defense.
How are you trying to insult my husband? Yes, I think it was fairly explicit that she was insulting the shit out of your husband, dude.
This angle's terrible.
It is. Natsu's forehead creased as she rose from the sofa. Ava, paying this no heed, stared at Cross with a confident smile.
Like her face moves, but not like her head.
Her head. Yeah, I see it. Cross, who also maintained his confident appearance, told Natsuhi to sit down. Please stop, Natsuhi. God, he even like has like a little bit of Trump in the hair and the face. Oh my god.
Stop.
Ushinomiya Trump. Oh god. Oh shit. That means Jessica's Ivanka. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate these metaphors. My little sister isn't capable of speaking any other way and always has been. Calm yourself a bit. Your headaches will get worse. Proof that you have no talent is also right here. After all, Nissan, once you're excited about turning this island into a resort, her features just slide around on her face, which is a flat surface shaped like a pumpkin seed. Oh, God. Building a wonderful resort hotel, beautifully maintaining the garden. I'm just an amateur and don't pretend to understand, but you must have used a significant amount of money, right? What are you trying to say? This is... Oh, ooh, the fang. Oh, this is toxic, Yuri.
She's losing it. Look at Ava. She's so serious.
She's going feral. She's going to start biting her neck. It's going to be really hot.
She looks so feral compared to Ava.
Mm-hmm. What are you trying to say? My husband's business has nothing to do with you. Actually, that's not true, Natsu-san. Rokenjima is not Anaki's. It's Dad's. The hotel that was constructed is Anaki's, of course. If you like, you can charge us lodging fees tonight. Right, Rosa? Well,
She's like, please don't.
If what I have on hand will suffice. If I can make it into a resort, this island's financial worth will rise. It's true that expenses have piled up, but we can hope to have a large harvest in the future. When that happens, it should prove beneficial to all of us here as well. Boy, it really does show like that planting that seed with like you know, spend 2 coins to make 1.
Yep.
Like, boy, he's fucking shit at his job. I understand that. The value of this land rises, that will increase our shares when we distribute the inheritance. Of course, we won't ask you to physically divide the island and the mansion into 4 equal parts. We're quite happy to settle this with whatever you calculate its financial worth to be. If you understand that much, what about my business makes you so dissatisfied? We aren't dissatisfied, we're uneasy. In the first place, Anaki, when do you plan to open up the hotel? Keep this up and every square inch of it will be covered in our grubby handprints. That's right. It's an important tool for your business, isn't it? I can understand that you can keep it locked up until the moment you open it for business. Building's so bad if you don't use them and air them out every once in a while. Even so, it's a bit extravagant for a guest house that we only use once a year. Wouldn't you say, Rosa? That's right. If it's that wonderful, I'm sure it will become quite popular once you open it. No, the hotel you mentioned earlier was referring to the guest house, I see. Hell of a building, isn't it? Just as Rosa said, I'm sure it would become popular if you were to open it. Lodging they had been guided to had not been constructed with the intent of building a guest house. It was originally constructed as a resort hotel.
Oh.
However, even though it had been completed 2 years ago, there was absolutely no schedule for it to be open. It's just like all of your enterprises. Your attention and planning are both fabulous. Then it always becomes unable to maintain itself far away and ends without having been able to collect any profit. It's brilliant of you to spot that it was a waste to use this island as only as a place to live. I think that turning it into a resort could be... which could use things like marine sports, fishing, or honeymoons to attract customers, was a pretty good plan. If I was the oldest son, I'm sure I would have racked my brains over what kind of profit I could get out of this island. But 2 full years have passed since you finished the building, right? After 2 years, you still don't know when you'll be able to open it. Where's the managing company you entrusted it to? Impertinence. That is not my husband's fault. There's just been some trouble with the company my husband contracted with. No matter how you look at it, we are the victims here. They look and sound like they're supposed to be bad guys, but they make some excellent points. I mean, like, they're just pointing out that their brother, like their oldest brother, is like kind of sucks at business, and none of them really trust him to be able to manage anything. Which, I mean, fair, honestly. And then just Natsuki's getting mad. Like, Natsuki's like hearing all this, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm so mad. I'm turning into a corn cob. Don't put in the papers."
She's like,
that I was
"You're
mad.
so rude. Why are you being so rude? Stop being so mean to me."
That's the thing. That even Hideyoshi's getting in on it. That's how you know they're cooked.
Yeah, he's a nice one.
That's the thing, though. This company that Cross Nissan hired, I haven't heard many good rumors about it, you know? Let's not beat around the bush. This project's disintegrated midway due to non-payment, investment, and other troubles. Did you think that the rumors wouldn't reach our ears? I've been collecting evidence.
Damn.
I don't know what kind of evidence you found, but it's all baseless. As new members in the sightseeing business, it is necessary to lay the groundwork with various people. It is also important to discuss how trustworthy the other party is. This is nothing more than taking time to meet that end. I'll accept that in my rashness the hotel was completed too early. However, we are not paying maintenance costs. It is a slow and vital strategic arrangement. Yeah, I bet. More like you want to sell it, but can't. There's no reason for anyone to buy such an extravagant hotel on an isolated island with nothing on it, no established sightseeing routes. Besides, what's happening with the loans you've gathered for this project? It might not be costing you maintenance, but the borrowed money you can't return is just going up and up. Sorry, Krasny-san. I investigated the development plan for this island a little. Gotta be honest, I've not heard anything good either. They hire a property manager, game ends immediately, and everyone is happy. God. Hideyoshi-san, I'm sure that only looking at the current financial condition could lead you to that impression. However, that is a prior investment. I have no choice but to admit that my prediction was mistaken, and up until now, several liabilities have been created. However, the times have finally caught up with me. I will soon regain everything that I have lost up until this point. No, actually, all the investments I have made up until now will finally return to my possession. That's right, just like throwing away a small fry which becomes a salmon that will come back even bigger than before. That's cope. You're coping right now. This is how companies go bankrupt, because the owner's like, well, you know, I have business sense. It's going to happen. Like, I trust the process, and then they jump off a building.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I'm with you on that. Starting soon, the resort business will probably see an unprecedented boom, but who knows whether or not it'll be enough to bury all your liabilities. I gotta ask, Krasny-san, after all the crushing defeats you've suffered so far, who in the world supplied you with the funds? It's a heck of a sum we're talking. You have to cover your massive debt, right? What are you trying to say, Hideyoshi-san? Ah, Natsuki-san, please, don't get mad. We've done our research, see? We looked into it, trying to see who could have loaned Krasny-san, who's lost all his battles so far, enough to support his recent massive Bugatti investments. And the result? No one. There is no backer. The iron rule of the money roulette is to bet against the unfortunate. And Aniki, you are a well-known unfortunate in this neighborhood. Surely this era, which seems to welcome in an economic boom, but when we asked who, with respect to Aniki's failures, who would find him worthy of funding, there was no one. So you see, where did you raise that money from? That's what we started to question next. Damn, they fucking came.
Oh,
they did come with the receipts.
Yo, they came planned.
Oh, isn't this an interesting story? Ah, that also explains why they hired Goda, because like you have a famous restaurant chef, and like it makes much more sense for him to be cooking for a resort, you know?
Yeah.
And dear, how long do you plan to ignore these abusive remarks? Sit down, Natsuki-san. Let me be blunt. It's like, please stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Like, let me be blunt like I wasn't before. Aniki, you have been diverting Dad's private funds for your own business. Oh, shit!
Oh,
There is almost no
my
doubt.
God.
If we made some mistake, please feel free to explain it to us. Rudolph, this isn't diverting funds. This is embezzlement, isn't it? It's a genuine crime that can be criminally prosecuted. This is rudeness in the extreme! Like, yeah, but so is committing crimes. How can you even face the successor of the Yushiromiya head house and level these wild accusations? I just realized that not only does, like, Ava have, like, the wing on her clothes, she also has it on the tattoo. Which is, like,
yeah, look how many
nuts.
wings she has on her clothes.
She's got so fucking many, actually.
Yeah, I think she might have the most out of, like, everyone in the cast.
Also, like, looking over her design again, I just noticed that she's, like, everyone else has, like, these, like, pretty, like, normal, like, rich people earrings, but, like, she's just got, like, a little flowers. Like, it looks like something you could find at, like, Claire's.
So cute,
it's really
isn't
funny.
She?
It's so fun. No, really, when people have done something genuinely awful and flat out say what they did, they will act exactly like this. Yeah, exactly, because they keep being like, well, I mean, no one's going to bring it up. Like, fuck you, it's rude to bring that up, and they're hoping that the social pressure brings it down. Like, I don't know. There's like a really fucked up sort of, like, mentality that happens about people like this, where they think the social contract is something in place solely to protect them. And when it turns out that no, it's like something you have to, like, give into in order to, like, get anything out of, they're like, no, oh no, I'm not owned. Don't write in the papers that I was owned.
Mm-hmm.
I
gotta say really quick.
Yeah.
Ava's wearing, like, the arm versions of, like, VTuber socks.
Yes. Yes, exactly. They aren't wild. They're right on the money, aren't they? The money. He wants to make his business succeed so that he can recover his losses, but his debt is actually growing. All he wants is to get himself out of the hole he's dug by making an even bigger gamble than before. He had funds close at hand, it's only logical that he try to use them. Let me say it clearly, Nissan. What you're doing is embezzlement. You are betraying our father. I imagine that we will leave you to the mercy of the courts after this. I imagine that we will leave you to the mercy of the courts after this is all over. Do you think these people will kindly agree to address you as successor to the Ushiromiya head house?
Oh shit.
So saying that he's betraying the head is not something I can overlook. Well, maybe he shouldn't have betrayed the head then. You no longer have the right to darken the door of the glorious Ushiromiya house. I don't think you can say that. Like, listen, I am all for, like, I don't, Natsuhi. I don't think Natsuhi can, like, say that. As she married into the family, meanwhile, like, Ava is, like, Kinzo's daughter.
Yeah. She's not understanding how important the ranking is.
She does not get that she is, like, in the shit heap with the rest of the in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
You leave this place immediately. Go on, get out. Natsuki had already reached the limits of her anger, shouted at Ava in a rage. She's like, and, like, Ava's just like, no, this is my family home. Fuck you. Indicating that she should leave immediately. Ava took out a folding fan and fanned herself with it, glaring maliciously at Natsuki as though silently daring her to repeat what she had said. However, her mouth was still smiling, curved in the shape of the crescent moon. In that unpleasant silence, Rosa gulped. Natsuhi-Nisa. Oh, this is... Oh, she's about to say some fucking shit. Do you make any choices in this game? No, I don't think so.
No.
I've tricked you all. I've tricked you all. We're here reading a book.
Yes. I love this book.
Who do you think you're speaking to? I am speaking to the extremely impolite sister of my husband. As the person in charge of family affairs, I cannot overlook any more of this. In charge of family affairs, I need her to have some fucking extremely unhinged expression coming up. I need this woman's face to be fucked up. Yeah. Let's go! Shut up, you sorry excuse for a wife. Oh, they're... they hate each other,
Yeah.
but I also think that they should make out.
What is wrong with you? Oh.
Ava folded the fan with a snap and rose powerfully. Compared to the elegance and playful behavior she had shown until now, she was unimaginably aggressive. How foolish! You leave! You would tell me, Ushiromiya Ava. Me, Ava, the third rank of the Ushiromiya family hierarchy, who is granted the left shoulder of the head to leave. Learn your place. And then look in a mirror at your shabby figure. Damn! Okay, like, being like, also your titties suck. Where on the clothes, where is your, on your clothes is the wing? Where are you permitted to wear the one-winged eagle?
Let's go.
Your only purpose was to birth the successor to the Oshiromiya family. Know your place, bitch. While Ava's face was grimaced unattractively, her words pierced Natsu's heart like claws and painfully twisted in. This is great. I love this.
Right? I fucking love the adult side of this story because it's so fucking toxic.
Maybe you got rid of that yes purple dress, you could get some inheritance on your dick.
Oh my God.
Holy fucking shit! Oh shit. Ava's kind of incredible. I'm like really like
she's fucking crazy toxic.
I love I don't know, like I'm like the more I've been like reading this, at first I was like, damn, why the fuck is she so bad to Natsuki? And then I'm like, oh, this is why. Oh yeah, okay, fair. like the bit about only being around to birth or whatever, that's maybe a little toxic, but I mean, listen, she's kind of earned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Natsuhi's pretty annoying.
Hey, Natsuhi. Was that rude? Was that too rude for you, Natsuhi? There were 100 ways Natsuhi wanted to respond. However, her anger and sorrow crushed her throat, and not one of them managed to make it to her mouth. The anger, which had lost any place to go, had become a single hot tear which slowly dripped down. Yeah! Let's go! What? If you have something to say, please say it now. Come on. Ava faced her with a provocative... Like I said, this is toxic Yuri. However, Natsuhi's fist was shaking. She trembled all over, unable to do anything. Kraus quietly broke that powder keg tension. Natsuhi, leave your holy shit. Natsuhi, you need a divorce. Natsuhi,
you are dismissed.
Natsuhi, you need a divorce.
Yeah.
You should go cool off your head. What? Natsuhi, resenting the fact that her husband had not come to her aid, shifted the focus of her attack. Kill. Don't you understand what they're saying about you? These people are baselessly calling you a traitor to father, and he's like, no, I mean, they're alright. You protect the glory of the Ushiromiya family. Put forth effort day in and day out, striving to be paragons of nobility in order to take over that glory from father, and this inexcusable rambling tramples it all underfoot. And you, why don't you talk back to them? I'm talking back because you won't, but you have just been relying completely on me. And now you are telling me to go cool my head? It's always me. I am always thinking so seriously about this family's affairs, and you've just taken that and... That's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce now. Nazi robbed of her dying father. Whatever anyone says to her after this is kind of small in comparison. I mean, from my interpretation of the situation, it's that Nazi, like, maybe wasn't... Nazi, I don't think is super involved with, like, Krause's business dealings. I think that he handles that mostly on his own, or at least that's the implication from what I'm seeing. And she mostly runs, like, the household and, like, the servants and stuff like that, and takes care of that side of things. So, like, I'm, like, almost 100% sure that, like, yeah, Krause is actually just embezzling, and, like, just never told his fucking wife.
Crying.
Anyway. Yeah. Natsuhi could no longer hide her tears. She flew from the room in that state. After all that remained was a somewhat embarrassed mood about the parlor. The sound of footsteps grew distance and silence returned. Kraus shrugged his shoulders slightly. Man, he's a bastard.
He sucks.
I apologize for my wife. She is always bad at controlling her emotions. Someone put a bullet between his eyes, like, right now. Natsui's like, how dare you say that? And Kraus is keeping his mouth shut and taking it because it's true. Exactly. I, too, have a hard time with her. You should have a hard time with being alive. If you got someone like that running things, you must be on edge constantly as well. Madam, it's nothing. Leave me be. Natsui flew to her room, bent over the bed, wailing. Those heart-wrenching sobs reached Kumasawa in the hallway. How heart-rending, Madam Natsui. There's a deep enmity between her and Eva-sama. Explaining their relationship is very draining for a woman such as myself. Do it anyways, I need to know. The Ushiromiya family is held as a bloodline in high regard, but if a daughter marries into another family, they would normally be removed from the family hierarchy. So under normal circumstances, Eva-sama should have been removed when she married Hideyoshi-sama. However, and this was not anyone's fault, Madam definitely bore no guilt. There's no way other than saying it, no way to say it other than calling it a whim of God. Kraus-sama and Natsui-sama were not blessed with children for some time. And of course, this was the patriarchal Ushiromiya family. A wife is just a tool to create an heir. If that wife did not fulfill her only duty, she would not be treated as human. It's painful to remember how much the master tortured Madam during that time. During that time, Eva-sama and Hideyoshi-sama's wedding was discussed. Eva-sama was sly. Taking advantage of Madam's inability to become pregnant, she gained the favor of the master. He inspired him to allow her to marry and give birth to a successor herself, making sure to avoid transferring her name out of the Ushiromiya family register. There was a vast difference between the Ushiromiya hierarchy between the Madam, who married into the Ushiromiya family and was treated like an outsider, and Eva-sama, who was related to the family by blood and whose husband took on the Ushiromiya name. Beyond that, Eva-sama was the first to give birth, and what's more, to a boy. Perhaps you can now understand how much weaker Madam's position was compared to Eva-sama's. Sure, Madam is tormented by the thought that if she had only gotten pregnant earlier, the master wouldn't have accepted Eva-sama's request to keep her last name after marriage, and Eva-sama wouldn't have been permitted to act as arrogantly as she had today. However, that is not Madam's fault. All the blame lies with God's whims and the stork that delivered Jessica-san late. Even so, Madam wouldn't allow herself to see things that way. She probably can't help but cry bitter tears at her inability to carry out the duties expected of a wife. How heartrending. Cannot do anything but watch over her from the shadows. Yeah, I do feel bad for her. Like, I don't think Ava's, like, wrong. But I also, like, oh, back in time.
Yeah, to the kids.
All right, I think that's probably a good place to call it for the night.
I think so, too. That was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. Boy, those adults fucking... Jesus Christ. Kinzo, you were so obsessed with witches you forgot to realize that your children are all fucking suck. Holy shit.
So... You finally met, like, I think, like, the rest of the, like,
I think
family.
that's probably most of the characters that we're going to be seeing for at least the first bit, other than, like, Beatrice, yeah. I guess.
So what do you think, now that we have the full cast here?
Rich people are awful.
Yeah!
Rich people suck so bad. Kinzo's like genuinely like really pathetic. It's funny. This fucking Prowse is Donald Trump mixed with fucking God, what was his name? I mentioned him earlier. The fucking Charlie Kirk.
The guy with the small face.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk, the guy with the small face. So he's like maybe like one of my least favorite characters on top of like Like, I think he may actually be my least favorite character right now, other than maybe, like, Goda. No, I feel bad for Natsuhi, but also, like, come on, you have to, like, realize the position you're in. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad, but also, like, you have
She's
to
very
handle
emotional.
it. She is. Jessica, like, I'm
now you know her
shocked.
family dynamic.
I am so shocked that she turned out as well adjusted as she did. Like, I am genuinely shocked that she had to live with basically these people for her to, like, be her, like, daily contact family, and, like, that she is not more fucked up. Maybe she is, and we just haven't noticed, but Ava's correct, even though she is, like, a sly, conniving, like, toxic bitch. But I do really like how unhinged she is, and I think that those, like, sprites of, like, her being mad and losing her shit, and then the smile afterwards is like, she is incredible. I support women's wrongs.
Yeah.
Hideyoshi's great. I love Hideyoshi. He's like a very, I think he actually, like, the more, like, I remember seeing it for the first time and being like, this feels like a mismatch, but the more I'm, like, looking at the two of them, I'm like, I think they're kind of perfect for each other a little bit.
They are. I truly do love them together.
But also I think, like, Natsuhi and Ava should be having hate sex on the side. Don't worry about it. The Battler's dad, I feel like, is just Battler with, like, time and, like, years of business experience under his belt. Like, maybe he's a little bit more conniving than Battler is, but I think that they genuinely are, like, the same person to a certain extent. Of course, we still haven't seen what his, like, big twist, like, sin is, so, I mean, who knows? Very, very funny that, like, he's like, sorry, you need to go, actually. It's time to get the fuck out of here, actually, to his wife, and she's just like, yeah, alright, fair enough.
I think that's the difference between, like, Kirei and Natsuhi, is that Kirei knows, like...
Yeah, she knows
she
that
can
she's
read
just,
the situation.
Like, yeah, she's like, listen, he may be wearing the cage and I may be pegging him every night, but, like, she knows what's going on. She knows that she has to bow out.
Okay, bye, Dagger.
See ya, Dagger.
Yeah.
Rosa, I still don't know what the fuck's going on with her beyond, like marrying a nobody, quote unquote. Pretty sure her husband was killed. Feels fairly certain that is going to be the case. Maria is still my darling angel. I love you, Maria. If anything bad ever happened to Maria, I'm killing everyone and then myself. George is good. I like George. He's very normal. He's so normal, it's strange.
Yeah, I guess the kids are kind of, like, a little quirky in some way.
Battler, I swear to God, if you keep doing sexual assault as a bit, and, like, grooming as a bit, I'm going to kill myself. Please stop. You have to stop. You need to stop. There are no more people left to sexually assault, please.
Yeah, we filled all the boxes. Unless he wants to go back to Sama-san.
You never know. Oh, Bito's gonna show up, so he's gonna be in a cage soon enough. Thank God.
Much like his father.
Much like I said, they are the same, but, like, minus some plus or minus some years in experience. The doctor is fine. He's fairly generic. I feel like he's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, my patient never listens to any of my advice, so I've kind of given up a little bit, but, like, fucking whatever. Genji seems fine. He's probably done some, like, really fucked up shit for Kinzo in the past, but, like, he seems okay. I don't know. Shannon, you and George should leave immediately, but also, like, that's never going to work out. I'm sorry, George.
It's so fucking doomed. We just saw Ava lose her shit. Like, it's never been more doomed.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, dude, but like not only like okay, so listen, first and foremost, I know it's like a big trope. I know it's like a big romance trope. Um Romance between like quote unquote like the help or like people who are like assist a household or like with your employers is so fundamentally like fucked up like
Yeah, the
as like a
power
relation.
dynamic.
The power dynamic is so fucked, right? Like, and that's not George's fault, and I'm sure he's like a nice guy and he would never do anything to like abuse that, but like the implication, you know.
Exactly.
Also, they still have
You know, I just realized.
Yeah.
What?
What?
No, I'm like looking between Shannon and George, and I'm like, is this not just like a K drama though?
Yeah. Oh no, it super is. Like I said, it's like a romance trope for a reason. I don't disagree with any of that. But like, boy, I tell you what, like I said, George would never do anything about it. I genuinely believe that. I think he is a good person fundamentally. Like I said, he is normal to the point of it being strange. But like, I mean, the dynamic is just fucked. Like there's nothing he can do about it. It's not his fault, but it's just not gonna work. It just really is not. Very, very excited to see how that fucking breaks apart and how Battler has anything to do with it, because like there's like a weird like tension there, and I saw like the blushing and like we met and we knew each other for like 6 years ago or whatever. So I'm convinced that there's probably going to be something going on there, even though I know Beatrice is like kind of taking that spot. Canon, I'm still confused about canon. And I'm still thinking about what like the old lady said about like it's the whims of like the master that caused this, and I'm like, this feels like bastard children being taken on as servants. Because, like, there's only really any reason for them to be, like, she started serving the family when she was 6. There's no reason for her to be around otherwise. And, like, same with Canon, right? Goat is a real bastard. Like, I completely understand why he's here. Like, he got hired on as a chef.
My homies hate Goda. Fuck this guy.
Because they even mentioned he got hired on, like, 2 years ago. And, like, that's the exact same time that they built the guest house, so he was clearly meant to be like the chef for the resort or whatever, but that ended up falling through because Kraus sucks. He's bad at business. So I can explain that explains why he's like fucked up and kind of bitter, but like he's still an asshole, so fuck him and his weird chin. Kurosawa-san is great. She is the funky old granny lady.
Awesome.
No real notes. I like her.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. That is my end of session 2 thoughts on the characters. Now that we have basically met them all except for Beatrice. Boy, I can't wait for Murder to happen. Murder's gonna be so cool.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun.
How close are we to Murder? Like, if it's not like a big spoiler to be like how close do you think?
It's been a while, so like, where are we right now? Like, the parents have just
parents just had their big argument,
or they're still talking.
Yeah, cousins are going outside and just hanging out.
Okay, so
they're
the
heading to the beach.
It's still gonna be a while. I think it might take like 1 or 2 streams.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to get like an idea of like when it's going to like pop off, because I feel like we got a pretty decent setup for like why there are tensions and like why there are like hypothetically like mundane motives for murder, as opposed because I am aware that the whole like one of the things that I am aware of about like Umineko is that it's all about like, hey, I did this murder with magic, I did this, and then like Battler's like, no, it happened mundanely and I'll prove it. That sort of shit. By the way, is there like puzzle solving in this at all? Because I know there's not like choice, but do you have to like solve things or something?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. As far as I'm aware, this is a pretty straightforward visual novel.
You just
The
read
only
it, right?
the only puzzle you could probably really want to solve is like if you want to try to figure out who the killer is before the end of the story.
Yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's fine. I think the embezzlement side plot is like pretty neat. I do think that it's very funny because I think that the other three younger siblings are a little too united at the moment. So I think that there needs to be like some sort of like thing introduced to introduce more tension between those three, because otherwise
Oh.
it seems like very night and day for like Kraus being like the only one who has like real motive.
Mm-hmm. They came so prepared.
They really were just like they all came with notes, the receipts. They were ready. They were gonna read them out. And I guess that does explain like how like immediately hostile like Ava was, but also like you get the feeling that this is like, I mean, fair. Like, listen, she's always been like this. This is not new.
What I like about like when you really see the siblings uniting against like Kraus is that like this is clearly like planned if they've talked about it, but never once does this feel ever hinted when they're at like the airport.
Yeah, no,
so
because they've
you
already
never
had
see it like really coming.
Yeah, because like it's like this is so far prepared. Like they've had this prepared since like last year. Like they
Yeah.
realized something was fucked up last year, and they prepared immediately. And they're like, "Yeah, we've known for so long that like we don't even need to talk about it."
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's also been enough time on their own with like without the kids or like the camera around, so that they could have like discussed it, and we just didn't see it. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I like the implication that provides otherwise. There's not really anyone to raid right now, unless anyone has any suggestions. So I'm probably just gonna go ahead and call it here otherwise. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Once again, I'm kind of shocked at how good the turnout for Umineko is, considering it's just a straight visual novel. But I mean, considering the type of like audience we've got, and like also like
It's because Umineko fucks.
Yeah, Umineko does fuck, and I'm really glad because I'm really enjoying this so far.
Good.
But yeah, thank you guys
holding
all
a
for
gun to Death's head. Good.
But yeah, thank you guys all so much for coming out. We hope to see you guys next time. Not sure exactly what's going to be going on. I know we've got some stuff scheduled for like later this weekend, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, you guys take care, sleep tight, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.